Hello. It has been a while, almost, I believe, 10 months actually for a live stream. But I thought I would take this opportunity to come back to YouTube publicly, having been gone for about 4 months. Um, Simple fact of the matter was that back at the beginning of June, whilst in Thailand, um, I was feeling absolutely on top of the world because, as you probably are fed up hearing me say, there was always the intention to go to Thailand to live. And Mrs. AT8 and I went to Thailand with the one intention, which was to find somewhere to live. Now, having found somewhere to live, which has ample space for a nice YouTube/collection room, I was absolutely on top of the world. And we were having dinner one night, and the email said, your channel has been demonetized. And I at first thought it was just spam because quite often you get these types of messages. But no, this was the real thing. YouTube had demonetized the channel. And they gave a very vague explanation, and that was reused content. Excuse me. So I thought to myself, okay, I get it. Because I did have a number of compilations of old 80s TV commercials, which obviously are not videos that I filmed myself. So I thought, I get it. They've done me for those compilation videos. So I went into my YouTube and removed all of those. And bearing in mind, once you get the notice that you've been demonetized, you have to wait 4 weeks to reapply again. So 4 weeks passed by. Having deleted all those videos, I reapplied and once again was told, nope, you're not getting monetized because of reused content. And I thought, what the hell is this? I've removed all those videos. So in fact, let me get this straight, because this is a while back now. This was, 3 or 4 months. So upon being declined on my reapplication, they then said I have the option to film. No, I tell a lie here. Or do I? I'm very confused. No, I got it now. Okay, quick recap. Beginning of June, demonetized, 4-week wait, remove the old 80s TV commercials, reapply, and then was declined again. And I was told I have the option to film a quick video, putting forth my case. And at that point, I realized, wait a minute, I know what it is. So the channel, although All Things 80s started in April of 2019, I had a YouTube page, which I barely uploaded to. But one thing I did upload back in 2016 was a documentary regarding my football team in Scotland, Hibernian, and their historic Scottish Cup win. It was a 25-minute documentary because it was the first time that we won the Scottish Cup in 114 years, which is pretty big. And obviously part of that documentary included the goals from each round building up to the final and the goals from the final. And that was probably footage from BBC, Sky Sports, etc. But I did my own commentary on top of the visuals. So in my video to YouTube, I said, look, I've realized the mistake here. It's clearly because I've used sports footage from, major stations. I've since removed that video, but please be lenient. Please understand, I didn't even think that a video from 2016 would have caused this issue. And they said, nope, you've been demonetized and you cannot reapply until October 4. So October 4, I reapplied, woke up on October 5, and here we are. Now, I will get to your comments just 1 second. I just want to get this nonsense out of the way first. Excuse me. So, demonetized at the beginning of June. Now, for the month of May, and I guess about 5 days of June, I had accumulated earnings on YouTube of approximately $400. And that was withheld. That was not paid to me when it should have been paid to me in June. And to make matters worse, a lot of that was very generous super thanks from very kind viewers. So for the past 4 months, YouTube has held that money, which I think is absolutely disgusting. And I believe now that we're finally remonetized, that money will be released to me. But I think that's an absolutely disgraceful situation that YouTube thinks it's okay to demonetize the channel without warning, without explanation, but two, to withhold earnings that a lot of which was viewers' generous donations. So it's been a rather stressful 4 months. And whilst you may not have seen videos appearing publicly on YouTube, I've been extremely active, and the members of my Patreon have been enjoying my videos for the past 4 months. So that now leads to the next question. I have to start releasing that stuff publicly. So as it stands, I could sit with my finger up my arse and do nothing until Christmas and still have umpteen videos going out per week. But I need to also do updated present day videos. So what I'm going to be doing is over the coming weeks, even months at this point, I will be uploading everything that has been shown to Patreon on YouTube, as well as new videos. So it's going to make for a really weird sort of timeline. There will be videos coming publicly to YouTube from way back in end of May, mixed in with videos that I'll be filming in the present day. So anything from Thailand will have the specific Thai intro with AT8 on tour. Anything that's been filmed since coming back from Thailand will have the normal intro. And you should know that when the intro starts, if you see the somewhat stereotypical Asian music starting it and then the Iron Maiden plane flying, that's an old video. Anything that doesn't have that is probably current day. Although in saying that, I've been back since August 16. So they've got videos that are not all things 80s on tour, but are still a few weeks at this point old. It's all very confusing, but we'll get there in the end. And, I just think the whole thing is absolutely disgusting. And whilst it's not good, it is reassuring to know that I was not the only one to get hit by this. A number of channels were hit with these demonetization claims with no explanation given, no direction to which video was the offending video. And I think it's really, really shabby the way it's been handled. And on that basis, another thing I discovered, because I did a lot of research on this subject, it turns out that if you have an unlisted video on your channel, unlisted meaning it's not available for the public to view on YouTube, they can still use that to demonetize your channel. So because of that, I have opted to stop the YouTube memberships. So all the juicy stuff will be on Patreon only, because I'm not taking that chance whereby YouTube can, dive deep into your archives, and something that was never made for public consumption can still be used as a way of demonetizing your channel. It really is quite despicable. And people might be asking, because some people did ask actually, they say, how the hell can you make a living on YouTube with only 15,000 subscribers? Well, whilst I wasn't making a living, I was absolutely making enough to get by. Now, I should point out that Mrs. AT8 and I have designed our lifestyle in such a way that our outgoings are absolutely minimal. So one, dirt cheap rent here, no car, no children, no pets. Because I'm somewhat antisocial, there's not a lot of expense for social occasions. So absolutely, I was able to get by with YouTube and eBay. So for the past 4 months, I've had to sort of dive deep into the savings because YouTube wouldn't tell me what the problem was back in June. I was going to swear there. I need to watch that as well, because no doubt they will use bad language against you as well. So all in all, I'm absolutely disgusted with the way YouTube have handled this. And it's now got me sort of walking on eggshells. So this will probably be a bad word free live stream. But let me try to catch up with the chat here. I want to try and get to them all if I can. So I'm going back to the top here. I'm going to try and race through these. So don't feel offended if I skip by it quickly. I just want to bring them all up. So Boba Fan says, can't wait, welcome back. Well, thank you so much. And Monkey Boys Toys is here. Great to have you back on the tubes, Dean. It's been too long. Yes, it has been, but thank you, Monkey Boy. And if you're looking at this on YouTube, which of course you are, because I'm the only one looking at StreamYard, Monkey Boy has the wrench, so any assholes will be booted. Animator, good to see you back. Well, thank you. Sai, Retro Guy Sai, nice one. Thank you. Justin, good to see you. Awesome. Kenny Whitty, it's great you're back, Dean. Well, thank you. And Jason also is here. Good to see you too, my friend. Now, on that topic, well, the topic being Jason, I think the video that was about to be released to YouTube prior to this whole situation was my meeting with Jason in Thailand. And we went into the Mega Plaza together, which was a wonderful day, culminating in some delicious Indian food and a nice gift exchange. Now, you've all probably seen Jason's videos. If you haven't, do subscribe to his channel. I would leave links, but I'm kind of confused at the moment. I've not done this for so long, but Travels and More with Jason, go to his channel and subscribe immediately. Esva, good to see you too. And Blake, no, we're not in Thailand yet. I mean, hopefully January. Again, on that subject, I had hoped to have been moving there very soon, but as with all these things, the legalities are taking longer than I suspected. So just to fill you all in order for me to get the visa to live in Thailand, Thailand does not recognize America's marriage certificates in standard form. So we've had to get the long form produced, which then has to get sent to the New York Secretary of State to get stamped and signed. And once that's returned, that then has to go to the US Secretary of State to get stamped and signed. And because I don't go into Manhattan, it's stressful, but I don't want to have to deal with the government employees that work in New York. They're the absolute worst. So we've hired an agent to do all of that for us, and they told us to expect a 4-month wait. So what that means is there will be Christmas will be celebrated here once again, and that will mean more crazy decorations, and we will definitely do the live stream Christmas parties. So I guess that's a good thing. Although I'm a bit annoyed because, if you may recall, last year we went to Thailand for 2 months. Now, bearing in mind, I had a 3-month visa, but I wanted to come back to America for what I thought would be one last cold Christmas. It turns out I'm going to get another cold Christmas this year, but there you go. Punisher, yo. Secret of Monkey Island. Did you get the retro collection, Return of the Jedi? Yes, I did. Actually, I have 2. I'll explain that in 1 second, but I was rather annoyed to get an email from Hasbro Pulse telling me, because it was due to be delivered probably next week, I believe, sometime in October. And the email said, due to unforeseen circumstances, it's been delayed till the middle of November, which kind of sucks. Although I do believe they have been released in the UK, so I don't know what these unforeseen circumstances are. But yeah, I got two. Let me explain. So as you will see as the videos make their way publicly to YouTube, I've been doing a series of videos on which are for YouTube, but they've been on Patreon for the moment, called Last Chance Saloon Pickups. And what that means is, having been to Thailand enough times now, I've realized I will never be able to find the Western toys that I enjoyed as a child in Thailand. So I've been frantically snapping up as much as I can to fill my collection. And part of that was making sure I had every Star Wars toy I had as a kid back in the collection again. And my thinking is, for display purposes, there will be this full lineup of figures, which I think a rough estimate amounts to about 120. Now, bearing in mind that officially there are 96 or maybe even 100, depending on your point of view, of original Kenners. But thanks to Stan Solo and Retro Collection, that has, increased. So I think I'm about 120 vintage style figures. And I have a number of vehicles and creatures. And I thought for my display, I would have the figures all lined up, and then the spaceships and play sets populated with figures. And one of the things I had as a kid was Jabba the Hutt's playset. And when I saw Retro Collection were doing the Gamorrean Guard, and I have to remind myself to keep saying Gamorrean Guard, because that's what I called it as a kid. But for some reason, these past few years, I've been calling it Gamorrean Guard. No, it's Gamorrean Guard. And when I saw they were doing that, I thought, you know what? If I got two of them to put next to Jabba's throne, that would be kind of nice. And I want to do an Imperial display with the Emperor and two Royal Guards. And it was much, much cheaper to get Retro Collections and use them rather than source original vintage ones. So from the box set, there are a number that I don't need. So I'll sell those off and kind of counterbalance the cost. But yes, I do have that on order. Reading movies. Good to see you. Well, thank you. 80s and Star Wars guy. Good to see you. This is our youngest viewer, I think. Nolan, long time no see. Welcome back. Well, thank you. And here he is again. Good welcome, gentle persons. Great to see you. Yes, indeed. And again, another channel, please do make sure you are subscribed. And Monkey Boy, I'm not ignoring your videos. I think I now have possibly 3 weeks worth to catch up on. I have been so out of the loop on YouTube these past few weeks, so I'm not ignoring you. And also as well, surprisingly, there are 47 people watching this, which is quite amazing, because there is currently a major channel doing a live premiere. So to get 47 watching this is quite something. So thank you all. Blake, bang your head. Yes. David Moore, good to see you. Yes, good win for Rangers today. I was actually rooting for your team because St Mirren have been doing well, but don't want them sitting there in second place. So good to see you. Bantha Pudu, the great wait is over. Well, thank you. Ryan, good to see you. Good to be back, yes. Tree Theodore, awesome. Well, thank you. And it's fantastic to see you here. Beauty Geek Toys, yes. Welcome back. Well, thank you. Oh, you excellent videos. Oh, that's far too kind. What's up, Dean? Great to see you back. Oh, thank you, Justin. Very kind. And RetroSci guys, evening to the chaps. Hi, Jason saying hi to everyone. Frustrating that they don't tell you what exactly. If you're going to basically jeopardize someone's livelihood, at least have the decency to say what the problem is. I am aware of other channels in the same situation, because like I said, I had to sort of dig in deep to ascertain what's going on here. And I think it was Reddit, which I've never used before, but there are threads upon threads of people in the same boat where there's no explanation given. They just say you're demonetized because of reused content. I also believe there's an issue whereby on the YouTube Shorts, I think people are using their TikTok accounts to film videos. And because TikTok has that logo on their videos, if you then post that on YouTube, they also deem that as reused content as well. So it's all terrible, really. It's disgusting. AWM85, hello, I hope you've been well. Well, thank you. Yes, I am well. Thank you. Great to see you back. Thanks, Jeff. Craig, not Craig. Don't have time to stay tuned tonight, but wanted to say welcome back, Dean, and hope you're in good health. I am, thank you. It's great to see AT8 again. I'll catch up on the episode. Take care. Well, thank you. Very much appreciated. Can I just say the following? Fuck you. Yeah, I absolutely echo that sentiment, honestly. And I don't want to be dramatic about this, but when I got, there were 2 times, well, 3 times actually, I got notified. The first time I was having dinner with the first message. I thought it was a spam. And that put me in a foul mood. When I reapplied the second time, again was eating with Mrs. AT8 and brother-in-law, drinking Leo, having some great food. Bing, 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 check the email. Oh, you mother effers. I'm being denied. So that put a dampener on things. And the worst one was having filmed my hostage video trying to plead my case. We were at the new house and I was sitting in what will be the toy/YouTube room, just imagining the possibilities. And I was absolutely high as a kite. I was just in heaven thinking this is going to be wonderful. And I get the notification of the email, bing, denied. And then it says, oh, but it's not all bad. You can apply again in 3 months. And I just sat there on the floor, stunned. It took a lot to not fall into a really dark place. I mean, I did briefly, during the first period of demonetization, I did briefly go into that sort of dark spot again. I thought, you bastards, you have done this to me. How dare you? But we got through it in the end. Retro Sai is saying hi to Jason. Hello, Sai. Yep, it's good to see Sai. Another channel, please do subscribe to Retro Guy Sai. I think him, Jason, Monkey Boy, whilst I'm probably the oldest, we're all somewhat similar in age and all grew up in the UK. So we all have the same interests and the same things we enjoyed. Only one Kenobi, the only one. Yes, Dean, great to see you. Oh, thank you, Nick. That's very kind of you. Sup BGT Bearded Geek Toy Reviews. There we go. My brain is working. Hello there, only one. Another channel. Do subscribe to Only One Kenobi. There is only one. Hi there. Wilma Dick Fit. I think I said this the last time. One of the greatest names on YouTube. Hey, Dean, it's great to have you back, brother. Well, thank you. Had me worried. No, I mean, I was still active. I didn't. Okay, let me address this. So people were saying to me, just put your videos out. It doesn't matter. No, it does matter because whilst a lot of people do use YouTube as a social club of sorts, it very much is a business for me. Whilst I do enjoy this interaction, first and foremost, I thought I'd found something that I could deal with my problems in a way that I don't have to be face to face with people, but still generate something that I can pay the bills with. And my thinking was, I'm not going to put my work out for nothing when I'm used to getting something back for what I've been doing. So that's why I didn't publish publicly to YouTube. Some might say that's selfish and whatnot, but you have to look out for number one sometimes. Monkey Boy says, it's great to see so many of you here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yes, well, thank you for saying that, Monkey Boy. This is quite remarkable. Yo, Monkey Boy. Only One Kenobi is saying hi to Jason, 80s guy, 80s and Star Wars, everyone for that matter. Yes, well said. Hello, everyone. What a great day. Well, thank you, Gerard. It's good to see you as well. Hi, Gerard. That's the main reason why I don't start a channel. Yeah, it really is quite awful that YouTube has this power to just cut you off like that. Again, it could have been handled so differently. The email could have said, we've discovered issues with this, and this video. Please address that, and then we can re-accept you. But no, it was a very vague, explanation that had me second guessing myself. And then I started thinking to myself, hang on, maybe if I've put a short clip from something else in a video, is that the problem? So I went through my whole thing, and it really did take a lot of time to go through every single video. CFCB Unlimited, good to see you. No, not yet, because I did look at it, but the whole toy 80s scene on Rumble is practically non-existent, so I don't think that would be worth doing at this point. But some people have said you really should have a backup just in case this sort of thing happens again. So maybe I'll look into it again. Left 4 Dead Fit. Well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, what a great day that was. Yeah, it really was. I want to say as well about Jason. So we'd only ever communicated via this medium of YouTube. And I think Jason was on the Christmas parties last year. So I knew I had spoken to him before. But to actually meet in person was quite something. And to have the added bonus of going shopping at the Mega Plaza. And Jason and I did very well that day. And we have to thank Mrs. AT8 for that, because she was able to negotiate some wonderful deals for us. And all in all, what a fantastic day that was. And if all goes to plan, we'll do it again next year. Jared, so great to have you back. Apologies for being slightly late. I was watching Monkey Boy's latest video. Man, we're blessed with such amazing content creators. Oh, thank you. Monkey, hit that like button, chaps. So that would be helpful if you all could. Oh, I see we've got 54 likes, so that's quite something. Thank you, everyone. Hello there, Dean. Welcome back. Well, thank you, Adrian. Thanks, Gerard. Yeah, I had to do all that nonsense when I moved to Holland. Bloody paperwork. Oh, it really is. I understand why the Thai government won't accept a standard marriage certificate, because from looking at mine, that's the easiest document to forge. There are no raised stamps. There are no original signatures. So I guess they want to know it is the genuine thing. Love the Christmas live streams. Well, thank you. Believe it or not, now we're in October, I can now say decorations go up next month. That just is mind-blowing. It just seems like Christmas was just there. Yes, Christmas live stream party. Put me down for a ticket. Yes, you will be the first invitee. Secret Monkey Link. Can't wait for your review of Return of the Jedi multi-pack. I couldn't get them in the UK. Sold out in 1.5 days, but lots of stock in the USA. Well, lots of stock, but for some reason they can't ship them out. I don't understand. So on that very topic, I will need to address the whole scandal of the Masters of the Universe Origins, the way that's going down. I had Target cancel my pre-order of a 3-pack, which then showed up in stores. It's just bizarre. Well, thank you, David. Did you see that latest Indiana Jones movie? No, I didn't. Speaking of old movies, hang on, I'm a bit parched. So it's no secret that I am not necessarily a big movie watcher. And from previous live streams, some of you may have been shocked to learn the movies that I have not seen. Well, I have since caught up with a very famous trilogy of movies from the 80s slash 90 and thoroughly enjoyed it. But I'm thinking maybe I could have Monkey Boy come on at some point to discuss this trilogy. Here's an idea. And so as I'm now starting to watch movies again, I watched another 80s movie the other night. I watched Schwarzenegger in Running Man and really enjoyed that as well. So maybe I will be able to talk more about movies on this channel. The Weapon X. Welcome back, Mr. Channel. Well, thank you. I finally finished my Bantha collection a couple of months ago. Nice. Gino, thank you. Have you been keeping up with your Stan Solo? Absolutely, I have. Yes, in fact, what I think I'll do is, starting tomorrow, I'm going to start uploading the old videos, one of which was done recently. It does indeed feature Stan Solo. And because of Stan Solo, or more specifically, John Kelly and Chris Smith from Stan Solo and their generosity, I was forced to buy some Star Wars vintage collection. All will be revealed. Gerard agrees, Wilma Dickfit is a great name. It really is. Nearly spat out my drink when I heard that username. Yeah, it's the best username on YouTube. Well, actually, for a while, I thought Monkey Boy Cloth Cat was a great name as well, but he changed that to Monkey Boy's Toys. But yeah, Wilma Dickfit is fantastic. Frad Donahue, in fact, I think you are one of the longest viewers of the channel, because I remember your comments going back years and years ago. So it's good to see you here. Glad you're back. Christmas wouldn't have been the same without your videos. Oh, thank you. The demonetization, no explanation, then making you wait sounds almost Kafkaesque. Must have been a few. It certainly was. I almost just thought about just giving it up entirely. The fact that they can do that to you without warning is just something else. Some really interesting videos on the Halo YouTube channel, Installation 00, about fake music copyright strikes on YouTube, how terrible YouTube are at supporting content creators and what you do. Case in point, when I was in Thailand last year, prior to going to Thailand, I knew I would be filming videos that were in shops and museums, and because they play music, if that music appears in your video, you get the copyright claim. So I thought, okay, I'll make my own music to go over those videos. And I did exactly that. I wrote and recorded my own music and put it on to those videos, uploaded it to YouTube, and immediately get a copyright claim. I'm like, what the hell? This is my music. So I appealed to YouTube. I included screenshots of where and when I recorded that music and was still denied. And there are people who make a living from putting claims on music that appears in YouTube videos, even though they don't lift a finger themselves. Diamond was, oh, thank you, Jason. Yeah, she enjoyed your company as well. She really enjoyed that day. It's fantastic. I'm definitely looking forward to your Christmas stream. Oh, awesome. I've got to think of a new format. I think we've kind of maybe exhausted the whole looking at the catalogs and the TV shows, but we'll come up with something. Grid Runners Shack. Great to have you back, Dean. It's clearly a minefield to navigate, and I'm glad your situation has been resolved. Well, thank you very much. Super Gamer and Plus Show, hi. Well, hi to you. Me, Super Gamer here. Oh, I thought as much from the username. I'm so happy you're all here. Thank you for supporting this welcome return to form. But oh, thank you, Monkey Boy. Been under the weather a while. Injured my lowered leg, and I'm still in the healing process. Oh, sorry to hear that. Speaking of injured legs, how about this one? So, believe it or not, we're now in October 8. And I made this ridiculous deal with myself that I wouldn't start wearing long pants or long trousers until October. But the weather's been so nice, I've remained in shorts. And today, out walking, I got stung by a wasp on my leg. And for a moment there, I thought I was going to have to go to the doctors because this thing swelled up like the size of a pea with this, big red pinhead thing on it. But I put some lotion on. It's gone down now, but my God, that thing hurt. I haven't been stung by a wasp in decades. How you day be going? It be going well, thank you. If there will be AT8 live streams this Christmas, count me in. I had a great time last year. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Hi. Happy to come on and discuss this mystery trilogy. Yes. I've got to be honest. Actually, when watching this mystery trilogy, I was reminded of all the things you've shown on your channel with some of your merchandise. So that was quite interesting. Was that trilogy Back to the Future by any chance? It may just have been. Wow, hang on. Is this... If you're a spammer, you can get out of here, but I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Daniel, well, thank you. Hang on. This guy is just writing hi. One more hi for you. Nope. Hang on. Oh, yeah, it's been done already. Yep, you're gone. What a tosser. You know what? What is it with these live stream spammers? Now, Tim Hayes, I didn't see the beginning of his stream last week, but I went back to watch it from the beginning and was appalled to see some loser join his stream as a guest and then proceeded to show someone masturbating on camera. Are these people such losers in life that the only joy they get is from ruining people's well-intentioned live streams? I don't know, but Super Gamer, you are a stone cold loser. Anyway, stay well, Sai. Yes. This is insane. I was only thinking about what happened to Dean just the other day. Even took a look to see when your latest upload was, and you are here. Oh, thank you. This live stream is certainly preferable to watching someone moan about the latest indie film for 4 hours. I only knew about it because I logged into YouTube to get everything set up, and there it was recommended. I thought, my God. So I read the background. I couldn't sit through a 4-hour movie, let alone a 4-hour stream. Oh, thank you, Monkey Boy. 39 years on this rock of ours, never been stung, so yes, I am now knocking on wood. Yeah, I don't know how that happened today, because I understand if you start fighting with a wasp, it might attack you. I'm just walking and the thing got me. Well done for looking after the chat, Monkey Boy. Yes. So, if this stream goes well, and it does seem to be going well, maybe we can make a more regular feature of this. And that being the case, as I've mentioned already, we have this option of discussing a certain trilogy of movies. But I want to know, and let me know in the comments, and I'll bring them up. Did anyone watch this Ahsoka show? Now, I have no desire to see it. I don't know who Ahsoka is. I didn't watch those cartoons. But, excuse me, it seems to me that the positive happy boy Star Wars fans are just as toxic as the negative haters, because I've looked at the social media feeds of this, and there's no way the show can be as good and as amazing as the happy boys say it is, and equally it can't possibly be as bad as the haters are saying it is. So please do let me know if you've watched the show and what your honest opinion is. There are so many people on social media and also on YouTube who I think honestly believe in their heads that if they say how amazing Disney Star Wars is, that Disney will somehow send them free stuff or give them, I don't know, free movie tickets, free subscriptions. I just cannot believe for 1 second that the two polar opposites are correct. So obviously it's in the middle somewhere, but I would like to know what the general consensus was. Yes, indeed. So I'm guessing Tim had to delete the videos due to that loser's actions. It's a shame because it turned out to be a great chat stream. Yeah. Maybe Tim was naive in thinking he could bring on someone who he didn't vet first. But you like to think in this world that you can, if someone's tuned into your live stream, they are watching with good intention, not to try and cause trouble like that. Everybody send your wasps to Gerard. Nope. I did. Recently, I managed to find an original Kenner Indiana Jones figure, which I have been looking for years. Oh, that's very good. Awesome, Dean. Really hope to see you back with regular live. Oh, thank you, Nick. I hope to try and do this more often. Ahsoka was pretty good. One of the better Disney shows. Huh. Because I saw something on social media where there was another channel, I forget the name, but they have said based on that show, they are going to remove all Star Wars imagery, not talk about Star Wars. They are so disgusted, they hated it, and they want to sort of distance themselves from Star Wars. I don't know. Watched the Clone Wars, and it was good, not brilliant, but good. Okay. I'm done with Disney Star Wars since Last Jedi. The franchise is getting diluted with too many shows. I agree with that. So what have I not watched? In terms of live action, I didn't watch the Andor show, and I didn't watch Ahsoka, neither of which I have any desire to see. Mandalorian was good. The last season, not particularly good. And I think going forward, the show is done because there will be no tension, because anytime the Mandalorian finds himself in any sort of danger, Grogu uses the Force and will save the day. So what's the point in that? And the Book of Boba Fett was actually terrible as well, wasn't it? A certain purple menace seems to be rubbing off on you, Monkey Boy. I watched the Ahsoka show. It was very up and down. Some good episodes, but some poor also. The writing could certainly have been better in places, the plot holes and characters making poor decisions. I got stung by a bunch of bees last week. $7 for a jar of honey. Okay. Sorry I'm late to the party. So happy Dean is back. Oh, thank you, Soda. Ahsoka was good, but I'm guessing if you'd never watched the Clone Wars and Rebels cartoons, you'd be completely lost. Well, I don't want to have to watch other stuff to watch a new show, so I probably will never watch Ahsoka. Disney movie tickets or toys, I pass. Yeah, absolutely. I watched Ahsoka and enjoyed it. Okay. Haven't watched the Ahsoka show, not sure if I'll bother. No, me too. I watched the show, quite enjoyed it, although I do have quite a bit of nostalgia towards Clone Wars. But I'd like to think that dictated no judgment for me. Okay. Only one can obey. I have a question for you, Dean. You caught my any Andor yet? No. I'm just watching series again. Pisses all over Ahsoka and anything Disney have produced. It's Star Wars I can take seriously. Okay, well, that sounds promising. I've advised Tim not to accept any unknowns onto the stream. It's happened 3 times. Wow, that is, well, it's pathetic, really. Unbelievable. I saw Ahsoka. In my opinion, it wasn't bad, but wasn't the best either. The late Ray Stevens stole the show. Joe DeBecky says, "Welcome back, man." Well, thank you. So, give me a yes or no. Should I do either a video or a live stream sort of questioning where Star Wars is? Because like I said, there's no way it was as good as the happy boys are saying, and it obviously can't be quite as bad as the haters are saying, but they have the most powerful voices, so I'd love to know. And I've got to admit, I do cringe when I look at social media and I see like 40 40/50-year-old men, you know, all giddy, like, oh my God, I cannot wait. Oh my God, I cannot wait for next week. Blah, blah, blah. It's just a show, man. Death Give Andor a Go stands on its own very well. You're not alone, Dean. Loads of people have not seen Andor. It's a travesty, way higher in quality. Give it a chance. I'll try, although I don't have Disney Plus, but there are ways around that, I'm sure. Only One Kenobi, you were right about Andor. I enjoyed Ahsoka, mainly for Sabine Wren, who is fit as F. I don't even know who that is. Sabine Wren. Uncle Bungle, new sub. Nothing but great takes from you. Well, thank you, Uncle Bungle. Very hard to give any Star Wars series a chance after the train wreck that was Boba Fett. Yeah, that's very true. It was good, but it's no Mandalorian. Okay. I tried to watch the Ahsoka show, did not like it. Visually, it looked too much like a cartoon. We are drifting far away from the original trilogy. I think too many shows are being made. Absolutely. Way too many. Tim says, welcome. Oh, thank you, Tim. Luke is here. Hey, Dean, great to see you back. Oh, thank you, Luke. I appreciate that. Soda Cauldron, really enjoyed Tim's streams. A nice space to chill and enjoy a Dr. Pepper. Yes. I did see the comments regarding Dr. Pepper. I'm glad you got some. That is actually, I think I may have said this on that stream, in fact. When in Thailand, I really did miss two things, and that was good toilet paper and a Dr. Pepper, neither of which seem to exist in Thailand. Good evening, Luke. Yes. The Toy Boy, I never get that excited about anything nowadays, let alone anything related to modern Star Wars. Yeah, me too. I sometimes have to sort of question what sort of lives are these people living that a new Star Wars show is the highlight of the week. That's not to put them down in any way. I just don't quite get that level of hype. I'm going to give Andor a try, as Only One Kenobi demands it. Yeah, I mean, I have a hard enough time to fit in the things I need to be doing in life, let alone commit to watching a show that I may or may not enjoy. Yo, Left 4 Dead. I got to go. Looking forward to future content. Well, thank you. I appreciate you stopping by. Andor is brilliant. Look at Reynolds reviews, but you need to give it time to breathe. At least 3 episodes. It's a slow burn. How many episodes are there in the season? Is it like, was it 8 normally in these things? Now, I just actually tried to watch a new Star Trek. Obviously, I watched Picard and thoroughly enjoyed that. Now that is how you do a old 80s franchise in the modern day. That was just, well, season 3. 1 and 2 were okay, but 3 was just fantastic. It's exactly what I was looking for. But I started to watch Strange New Worlds yesterday, and it was okay. I just had a hard time accepting that it wasn't actually Captain Kirk that was interacting with Spock. It was all a bit strange, but I'll give that a chance, I guess. Yeah, I'll give it a try. Gone are the days of 3 years of anticipation for a Star Wars film. Now it's one every year. In fact, what wasn't last year? There were at least 2 new shows, I believe, within the 1 year, which I think is a bit much. 1 a year is fine. The Mandalorian is by far the best show Disney have made so far. Yeah, I would agree with that. Filoni has to make his characters better than Favreau's characters. After the second season of The Mandalorian, you can tell Favreau checked out. Yeah, the third was weak compared to the other 2. One gripe I have with the new TV streaming shows is the mystery box format. I don't know what that is. Please do explain. Everything since then has either been a dud or no better than Favreau lost creative control to Filoni thanks to Kennedy, so Filoni has boarded the Mm. Oh, thank you, Martin. Um, the Kennedy train, and Favreau stayed that station and is writing out his contract so he can join DC and team up again with Gunn. Huh. Um, Speaking of DC, now when I was in Thailand, sister-in-law and her boyfriend, and I guess Mrs. AT8, were watching the movie. What was it? The Flash, and it had some throwbacks to like Batman and Superman. And because they were watching it with Thai language, I couldn't understand the dialogue. But from the visuals, I thought I was looking at a computer game. It was just not enjoyable in any way, shape, or form. So, what are people's opinions on that? And has it got to the point where all these movies, superhero themed movies, it's more about the visuals than it is about any actual story? I don't know, just not something that I enjoyed. Well, given that I couldn't understand the dialogue, but visually it looked dumb to me. Or maybe I'm just being harsh here. Um, I'm just trying to see where we are. Nick has said to Luke, just seen your comment. Ha ha ha. So Jason has not seen Flash yet. Again, from what I could see, I was actually sitting at my computer doing stuff, and I would look up from now and again and see the action on the big screen. And I just thought, that looks terrible. And it was quite weird seeing the sort of CGI Christopher Reeve as well. And they did have I think I saw a very brief glimpse of Adam West's Batman, although it wasn't clear it was him. But I thought, I'm not into that. And you know what? I have enough material from the 70s, 80s to watch that I don't need to really worry too much about modern stuff. And I cannot believe it. We are actually 53 minutes in, and I've reached that point in the show where I think you know what's coming. So please do bear with me. I will be back in literally under 90 seconds. Please stand by. I'll be right back. I do apologize for that there. The old bladder caught up with me. Terrible thing getting old, isn't it? Or maybe it's just too much ale. I don't know. Talking about, these modern movies, I just think that they're trying too hard to be the most visually impressive, and they're just losing that knack of telling a good story. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Did you check out any of the latest Ramen toy creations? Gullwing, Great White. Any thoughts? Okay, Gullwing, I have no interest in because I have two original Thunderhawks. One very kindly given to me by Luke from Reynolds Reviews. So I have no interest in the modern one. The Great White is interesting. It certainly is. But I cannot commit to any sort of pre-orders because I don't know what my address is going to be in the coming months. And you know what, as it is, in fact, as you will see, as the videos start coming out to YouTube, that I'm pretty much done collecting masks. I did make a couple of purchases in the last month or so, which brings me up to the point where I need to be. So I think they look great. I do like their General Lee, actually, but like I said, I cannot commit to any more pre-orders. The CG in the Flash was awful. Can't believe it cost them 200 million. So I'm not wrong. Okay, thank you for confirming that. Like I said, I wasn't actually watching it. I was sitting from afar. I could see the big screen, and I thought, this is like a video game or something. It just looked terrible. Not missing much, Jason. A very poor movie due to extremely dodgy CGI. So everyone is saying this. Yep, we know. Stick around, yeah. Nick Cage, Superman, yeah. Oh, I saw that part as well, actually. Don't like the actor who plays Flash, as I watched the TV series Flash, who I think should have been the Flash. Okay, I don't know anything about these actors. Shit, if he's going to drink, I might as well smoke. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I haven't been absent from YouTube entirely, because when I was in Thailand, I was on a stream from Ed5. I don't know how many of you saw that. It was discussing our top 5 TV shows from the 80s, although it was also extended to the 90s because a lot of younger guys on that stream. And I think I may have disappeared from camera about 4 times on that stream. It's just terrible. It really is. Too much comedy in films and TV. It's what killed the new Star Wars trilogy. Yep, I agree with that. Every serious moment is brought down with a joke. Yep, that's absolutely true. And in fact, last night we watched a movie on Amazon called Totally Killer, which was right up my street because it's a time machine story going back to 87. And it would have been a really good movie had they not insisted on bringing in a few sort of woke commentary lines. No need for it whatsoever, but all in all, it was pretty decent. So if you have Amazon, give it a shot. Yes, he shut the door. I think when I play the video, it should cancel the microphone, because I do know that I did once broadcast myself tiddling into the bowl. You mentioned Moto Orange earlier, Dean. A very frustrating line to collect at present, especially if you live in the UK with all the US exclusives. Mattel distribution is awful. Yep. I'm now officially out. I had pre-ordered the Sunman 3-pack, which was a Target exclusive. I ordered that, I guess, back in July. And for the past 6 weeks, I would get a weekly email from Target saying, sorry, there's been a delay. Please authorize this delay, otherwise we'll cancel. So I authorize each and every time. And then the last email said, due to unforeseen circumstances, we have canceled your order. I'm like, okay. And then I look at the Masters of the Universe Facebook thing for Origins, and people are finding it on the shelves. Same thing happened to me with Target's exclusive McFarlane Batman 66 line. They cancelled my unmasked Batman. Ended up getting that from Australia. Target always cancel. Walmart, I don't know if they cancel, but they ship very badly. And Amazon cancel and ship badly. And they keep getting these exclusive items. It's just incredible. But because I'm not going to be able to get the Duplico or the Mossman, because those are both Walmart exclusives. And the ironic thing is, when you go onto Walmart's website for those items, Mossman in particular, I think it's a $40 item, but they allow third-party sellers to use their website and sell it for like $70, $80. So I'm like, nah, I'm done. You will see a video coming soon, which has been viewed by the Patreon members, whereby I received my Snake Mountain, but sent it back. That will be explained in that video. The actor who plays the Flash is a sweaty nonce. Won't be watching it. There you go. In my opinion, the biggest crime the Flash movie made was making Supergirl a brunette. Ah, interesting. I enjoyed the Flash, but the CGI was a bit rubbish, but some great cameos. So, am I the only one that thought, or no, I guess I'm not the only one who thought it resembled a video game then with the CGI. It looked jittery, it looked pixelated, it just looked terrible. Nick, you are indeed correct. Flash was the last movie before James Gunn took over. He had to do some reshoots and lots of edits. He didn't want Ezra Miller, but they were stuck. I see. Now Supergirl in the TV series is a very nice who is blonde. Got a bounce for a hot minute. Oh, thanks, Gerard. Got my Snake Mountain a couple of days ago. Very happy. It was the US version and not the Euro one. But did you open it? So I got mine from Amazon, and I thought to myself, well, you'll learn the reasons why I'm not keeping it in the video coming up soon. But opened the master carton just to take a look at it, and it does look really cool. Very impressive, but why did Castle Grayskull come with a figure and this one didn't? I don't know. But it just is not for me, partly because of space constraints, and also because we're shipping everything to Thailand, and it would have just been too expensive to ship. Well, not too expensive, but an expense I don't really want to have to pay. So there was all these reasons not to keep it. Now, I thought, let me chance my luck and see if I can sell it on eBay. However, having taken the photographs, putting it into eBay, doing everything, I weighed it and measured it. And for me to ship it anywhere in America was going to cost the buyer between $45 and $75. Now, anyone with any sense would just go straight to Amazon and buy it with free shipping. So I just thought, you know what, I'll return it to Amazon. I got my credit, so I'm happy. But on that subject of eBay, sorry, I'll get to Monkey Boy first. No, of course I didn't open it. I'm not a lunatic. Okay. eBay has become very difficult to operate both as a buyer and a seller because of the shipping costs. Now, when I do my eBay listings, what I do is I photograph the item, I then package the item and do the listing. And that way I can enter the dimensions and the weight, and eBay calculates the cost of shipping. Nowadays, the shipping costs are just out of control. It's gotten to the point where in some cases, the shipping is costing more than the item you're buying. As I said, Snake Mountain was going to cost any potential buyer anything from $45 to $75. No one is going to pay that. And furthermore, as I do my Last Chance Saloon Pickups series of videos, a lot of the stuff that I need from my collection are, of course, things from the UK, which is where I grew up. And I was looking at comics earlier today, and to ship one comic from the UK to here, eBay is charging like $14. The comic is under $1, but they want $15, $14, $15 to ship it. It's unbelievable. Absolutely despicable. And again, the stuff I'm selling, I'm seeing what it's going to cost potential buyers. And if I was buying my items, I wouldn't be paying that much for shipping. So as it is, to make the sale, you really have to drop your prices. And as a result, eBay is no longer a viable business for the home seller. You have to be a massive corporation who has access to, cheaper shipping rates and things. It's awful. It really is. But if you are from the UK, you're definitely going to enjoy my Last Chance Saloon Pickups series of videos, because there's a lot of goodies coming from the UK. Jaws is here. Sorry I missed the notification. Yes, you are indeed here now. Last film I seen was MP Dead Rocking. I don't know what that is. I do apologize. I'm really out of the loop. One thing about being in Thailand for 3 months was, because of the time zones, I mean, once the clocks change, is it later this month or early next month, Thailand then becomes 12 hours ahead of the US. So when everyone is live, I'm fast asleep. When people publish videos, I'm asleep, and everything gets lost. I am thinking that once I'm there, if I do want to live stream, a potential time and day will be Sundays. But if I go live at 10 p.m. in Thailand, that will be 10 a.m. East Coast and 3 p.m. UK, which I think is doable. If I were to maintain this 3 p.m. East Coast schedule, that would mean live streaming at 3 a.m. in Thailand, which is not really something that I can do. So it could be Sunday, early Sunday morning for the US and Sunday afternoon for the UK. That could work. Jason says, if you need me to send... Oh, thank you, Jason. That is very kind of you. We will talk about this. Thank you so much, sir. That is a very worthy idea. Thank you. As it is, I have something coming from the UK. Is it just the one? I forget now. But it is from a bald New York detective, and he does drive a Buick. Let's see who can guess what this is. But yes, I have had a few things recently from the UK. And also it seems to be there are two options to ship things internationally. You can use eBay's global shipping program, or you can just do it yourself. So I had someone send it from the UK themselves. It was half the price of shipping, and it got here in half the time. I guess with global shipping in the UK, they send it to the eBay's, headquarters, and then they repackage it with the label, and that takes time. But yeah, it was quite a rather expensive endeavor. Having a beer or 12. No, this time I'm going to limit things. Ironically, I had a rather large bender 2 weeks ago, and I said, that's it. I have to stop this. And I didn't expect to get let back into YouTube. So I thought, you know what, I can quit drinking for a while. So I lasted 2 weeks, and here we are back again. I have to calm my nerves. I don't make a secret of this. I suffer badly from this whole anxiety nonsense, and this gets me through. So I do what I have to do. Or it'll be, UK should be 7 hours ahead. Yes, I think because you're still on summertime, you're only 6 hours ahead. But once your clocks go back and hours go back, it puts the US 12 hours behind, and I think the UK 7 hours behind. It really is a pain in the ass. Which is why when I was on Ed 5's show, when I was in Thailand, I think that may have gone live in the US at about 7 in the morning, which wasn't ideal for American viewers. I guess the UK viewers would have been okay, but it was very hard. Speaking of Ed, I'll be talking to him later privately, but if you don't already know, some bastard stole his toys. Absolutely despicable. He had his stuff in a storage unit, and some scumbags broke in, took all his great stuff. That is probably the ultimate fear that most collectors have, to have some bugger steal your stuff. I really hope he gets it back. That is despicable. Kojak. Yes, it was indeed. Now, who from the UK remembers those blackcurrant flavored Kojak lollipops? Because I was just discussing that this morning with Mrs. AT8, saying how I have this toy coming my way, and it just reminded me that I used to enjoy those lollipops. And in fact, just talking about them, I could almost taste that flavor in my mouth. It was quite something. Yes, they do send to eBay HQ, as I do eBay myself. Yeah, when I sell, I use global shipping because it takes away the headache of filling out custom forms and things. But I do see how much these people pay for shipping. It's outrageous. It really is. Having a beer, a nice one. Do we have to do? No judgment. Well, thank you. eBay Global Shipping Program is based in Litchfield, because I see that on the tracking. You ship there and they sort and send it out. It can take a while to be processed. It does take a while, but at least, like, I know when I'm selling, as long as I send it to the eBay's HQ here in America, I've done my part. There are no worries. It's a very simple shipping form. There are no customs forms involved. So it does take the headache out of doing that, because having sent some stuff to the UK recently, my God, they want to know every little detail, and you have to actually do a bit of calculation, because the customs form wants to know the weight and the price of each item included in the package, and that's a real headache. Kojak, yes, indeed. Yes, Dean, tell me about it. When I talked to Nan out in Histai. Oh yes, the time difference. Yeah, so when we talk with Mrs. AT8's family, we only ever talk either we're in bed or they're in bed. It really is it's quite awkward, actually. Who loves you, baby? That's the one. Telly Savalas was a good Blowfield on Her Majesty's Secret Service, a James Bond film set at Christmas. Yes, absolutely. My grandma used to love Telly Savalas. In fact, looking back, it may even have been her that gave me the Corgi car when I was a kid. Although in saying that, I did see an episode the other day of Kojak, and his Buick is pretty dark brown on that show, but the toy was golden. And you will, of course, see that soon on the All Things 80s YouTube channel. But I am getting very close to the end of well, that's not true. I'm getting close to the end of collecting things from my childhood. As I said earlier, because I won't have access to that stuff in Thailand, I need to get it while I still can. And I've been going crazy. And I have been spending money I don't have, but safe in the knowledge that when I sell the stuff here, it will absolutely balance things out and obviously put things more in my favor. We have so much stuff to get rid of that we can't take. Our bikes, my music stuff, all sorts of stuff has to go. Cannot ship that. And I figured, you know what, it's now or never. Let's get everything I need from my childhood. And it's been a wonderful experience. So I wouldn't say I meditate, but I do like to sort of sit in the corner and just focus my mind and travel back in time. And doing so has allowed me to remember things that I haven't thought about in 4 decades, and then do a Google search, see what it was, then search for it on eBay and find it. So when you start seeing these videos come up on YouTube, you are going to see these really interesting, cool toys from my childhood and possibly your childhood as well. A couple of things I picked up were from ET, which I hadn't thought about in decades. And I got a toy car the other day that I had a very vague memory of it. And when I thought deeper and deeper, I thought, oh yeah, I really enjoyed that toy. So that again is in my possession. But I will say this, a lot of the stuff I have, there's a chopper going by. A lot of the stuff that I've since acquired will require full demonstrations, which I will not do here. As I've said many a time, I am not in a position here to make videos, partly because of space constraints, but also because I don't want anyone to see how bad it is to live here. Once we move, I'm going to have ample space to film cars gliding across the floor and Evel Knievel doing stunts and all sorts of cool stuff. So we've got all that to look forward to. I was watching an old episode of The Bill, and the actor playing the solicitor defending the scumbag was Anthony Daniels. Interesting. What did I see recently? I forget. I saw an old show that had an actor that was from one of these big franchises. Actually, something I've been watching a lot of recently was here in America, old reruns of The Price is Right from the 70s and 80s. And that got me thinking, wait a minute, I remember watching it with Leslie Crowther. So went onto YouTube, and there it was, The Price is Right with Leslie Crowther. It was just fantastic to see that stuff again. The only problem I have is when I watch these old shows such as Bullseye, Price is Right, Blankety Blank, etc., when I'm watching it, I get transported back in time, and I'm almost living that childhood again. And when the show ends, I realize, oh, God damn it, here we are 4 decades later. What a downer. Don't know if that happens to anyone else. Bantha says, my vintage Star Wars collection, it's my last collection to fulfill, then I'm done. Yeah. Now, so for my Kenner Star Wars collection, I'm at the point now where I have everything I had as a kid, with 2 exceptions. I'll get to those shortly. Everything I had as a kid, plus a lot of stuff I didn't have as a kid. Now, there are things I would like to have, but I've had to admit defeat there. I am more than happy with what I have. Now, in terms of what I may still try to get, so from my childhood, I am missing a die-cast snowspeeder and the Darth Vader collector's case. Now, I almost got the snowspeeder. There was an auction recently, and it was a low starting bid, and I thought, oh, I can maybe get this. And as the countdown progressed, of course, the price went up and up and up, but it wasn't crazy, because this one was in mint condition, because I kept my toys really well. So I want to have the same condition I had as a kid. So I'm looking at it, and as the countdown starts, unlike Monkey Boy, I don't use an app. I just use my ninja skills and try to hit it within the last 3 seconds. And I put my bid in, and as basically 3, 2, bing, and I got outbid by $1. So there you go. I'm still looking for that. The Darth Vader collector case, I'm not so worried about, because that wasn't really a toy you would play with. So if I don't get that, that's not going to be a problem. Parting with items, don't care to have anymore. It's going to take a while to liquidate it. Yeah, I've been doing something similar. So as it stands, I'm at the point now where everything I have is everything I want. So there's no extras that are, taking up space and things. And last night, I was actually going through my Corgi collection. Now, I think Corgi diecasts may have been my first obsession, because I was getting Corgi and Matchbox, for that matter, prior to being interested in Star Wars. So the Corgi stuff has a really fond place in my heart, and seeing everything laid out, I'm like, oh my God, this stuff is beautiful. And I thought, oh, what else did Corgi make that I used to enjoy? So of course I went on eBay, and I'm seeing all this stuff, and I'm thinking, should I? And maybe I should, because fortunately it's not that expensive. I guess a lot of people don't really care about corgi stuff too much. So I'm thinking that I may close out my vintage collecting days by getting some more corgi. Let me know, do anyone else collect corgi? I think it was a wonderful line. Bearing in mind, as kids in the UK, we basically had corgi and Matchbox. I think Dinky was still around, but that wasn't as prevalent as corgi and Matchbox. But for me, Matchbox was more about the sort of everyday vehicles you would see on the street, whereas corgi had all the licenses for, you know, Batman, Spider-Man, Superman, James Bond, Tom and Jerry, Popeye. It was far more interesting. Jason says, yes, the whole 3 weeks I was there, I did not see any vintage. Nope. I did see, yeah, I saw the 90s stuff and some Western toys, but it was not a lot. Yeah, clearly Thailand is very influenced by Japan. A ton of Japanese toys. And currently, like in the modern shops, so Toys R Us and all the toy shops at the malls, it's all Ultraman, Kamen Rider, Gundam, a lot of die-cast, but it's all like modern cars. So yeah. Blanket. I don't know what that means, Monkey Boy. Mainly like you, I'm keeping childhood. Yep, that's what it's all about. And also as well, you will see in the coming days or weeks a video I did explaining why I really don't care for modern toys. Blankety blank. Yes. I liked it more with Terry Wogan. The other guy, oh my God, I've forgotten his name. Ted, was it? Oh my God, I'm making a fool of myself. Okay, someone can correct me. Ted Lawson or Dawson? Les Dawson? Is that it? No, but it was Terry Wogan. I remember watching it with the family, and the guests were like Kenny Everett. There was the female impressionist with massive jugs. Was it somebody Brown? Yeah. Isla St. Clair, the monocle wearing astrologist. Oh, help me out here, please. But yeah, Blankety Blank was a great show. Great TV over here in the UK, has great TV classics. Randall and Hopkirk, The Persuaders, Return of the Saint, and MASH. Excellent. Leslie Crowther was the father-in-law of Phil Lynott. Yes, that's right. The front man of Tin Lizzy. They lived in Dublin. Absolutely, yes. Correct. Now, didn't Leslie die very young? Like very young? You can all let me know, I guess. Would you see AT8 go further in collecting and reviewing indie stuff? Stan Solo, Raymond, Pali Toy. Yeah, I will always look at Stan Solo. Absolutely. I mean, I sound like a salesman here, but my God, that stuff is second to none. It is outstanding. And the fact that when you take a Stan Solo figure that was never made by Kenner and hold it next to Kenner, it's as if Kenner made it themselves. Fantastic. And again, without Stan Solo, I would not have a complete Star Wars collection, because I am not paying hundreds of dollars for a bit of plastic, you know, Yak Face, any of these last 17 for that matter. He has saved people like me and people like you, I'm sure. Childhood was Matchbox, Star Wars, Action Force, Transformers, video games. It's fantastic. That is a good 80s childhood right there. I did collect Corgi, Dinky, and Matchbox for a couple of years, then sold 90% for Star Wars. Ooh, yeah. But thankfully, for whatever reason, the old Corgi stuff is not at all expensive. So, as I said, I was looking at it all last night. So I have all the Batman stuff. Corgi Juniors, in fact, Corgi and Corgi Juniors, all the Batman stuff, Corgi Juniors, I have all the Superman, all the Spider-Man. I got Wonder Woman and Shazam. Uh, Corgi Spider-Man, I only have the spider bike and the Jeep. I'm missing the van and the copter with that, a licking tongue feature. And I think they did a larger scale Captain America rocket as well. But you can't have it all. You have to decide what you want. But for me, I think Corgi Juniors is where it's at, because that's what I remember as a small boy. And my mum would take me shopping along the high street in our town, and everywhere sold Corgi Juniors. It was a fantastic time. Dinky has the Jerry Anderson licenses. Corgi had Bond, Superheroes, Kojak, Starsky and Hutch, and even Blake 7. Yep, I had the Blake 7. I had Kojak, Starsky and Hutch, Bond. In fact, I still got some of my childhood Corgis that I will showcase at some point. Les Dawson, thank you, Monkey Boy. Also, David has said that. And Jaws has said that. Yeah, Les Dawson. Yeah, I much prefer Terry Wogan for some reason. I don't know why. I recently received my Stancil Greedo. Yeah, so I think what I'll do is, starting tomorrow, I'll start putting out my catalog of unseen YouTube videos, and we'll do the Stan Solo one first. So we're looking at Greedo and also the Rebel Fleet Trooper, which then forced me to buy some Star Wars vintage collection. So Tree is asking me, which McFarlane 66 villain or vehicle would you prefer to be manufactured next? So in terms of vehicles from the show, we are missing Batgirl's cycle. And the Joker had his Jokermobile. So that's really the only two from the TV show. The submarine from the movie is way too big. But the way this line is going, this latest wave, or the forthcoming wave, I should say, is rather uninspiring. It's all comic book items, including Superman, which I think is really weird. Now, given that they gave us Batman with the pink cowl, but they didn't give us the Mad Hatter. You got Bookworm. There's what else? I mean, those are probably the most recognizable villains that haven't been done. But we do need to have Alfred, not as Batman, but as himself, and also Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson to fit into the Wayne Manor playset. The fact that they put out that playset without the correct figures is quite ridiculous, really. But yeah, I guess Jokermobile would be nice. Or Batgirl's cycle, but then again, I don't know how well those things would sell. A copter with a licking, yeah, absolutely. If you get a chance, Google Corgi Batcopter, and what happens is, I think when the blades spin, this tongue goes ding ding ding. It's quite something. Matchbox, I think, had the spider bike back in the day. Had the Batcopter. Yeah, the Batcopter was really cool. The fact that it has the Batman with a cape sitting inside, whereas the Batman that came with the Batmobile and the Batboat did not have a cape. So, but you cannot access the Batman inside. Got tons of Matchbox cars and potentially some Corgi, all very well played with, though, as they should be. But wonder what value some of them are. Now, sadly, not a lot, which is actually good for people like us who want to collect more. For some reason, they did not hold their value well. Obviously, in-package items with the big names still command a reasonable amount. But from looking today on eBay, because having looked at my collection, I thought, oh, I could add to that. So I remembered enjoying the Tom and Jerry Corgis, brand new, still in package, about $15 each, which isn't at all bad, I would say. Stuff like Batman, Superman, $40, $50. But for a 40-plus-year-old toy, it's not at all bad to be still mint on cards. Although they do suffer from the fact that the bubbles used were very fragile, so most of them are dented in some way. In fact, they're almost all dented. But I guess that happens with the passage of time. But yeah, I definitely do think I may keep pursuing some more corgis. But I did have my list here of things that I'm looking to maybe get, and one of which is interesting. So I had it was called an electronic game, but let's be honest here, this was a mechanical game called Demon Driver. In America, it was called Digital Derby, and I'm trying to find one of those, but the majority of them are broken on eBay because with it being a mechanical game, these things do break down, and that's one thing on my list. The other thing that I'm really looking for and cannot find in good condition is a A-Team van. Either it's called Stomper or Rough Rider, which was the A-Team van with a gear lever on the top, and it had three functions. One function was two-wheel drive. It went quite fast. One was neutral. You could just play with it yourself. And one was 4x4. And that thing could climb any gradient you so wished. So I'm looking for that. And the last thing, well, there's two on the list, but one I can pass, and that's a Weeble. I remember having a Weeble as a kid, and I'm sure it was a little boy with like red plastic hair. And Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. I would like to get one of those. But lastly, I'm going to try and locate the nursery rhyme books from Ladybird. I had many Ladybird books as a kid. And in fact, I still have at least one from childhood in my possession, which was a Transformers Ladybird book. But I really did enjoy those nursery rhyme books. So we're talking late 70s here. But I must have read them so much that they are etched in my memory. So I'm going to try and track those down. But aside from that, I'm kind of satisfied with my vintage collection. As you will see in the coming days, weeks, maybe even months at this point, when in Thailand, I did manage to find a couple of vintage 12-inch G.I. Joes, which were the exact same as the vintage Action Men I got handed down by my half-brothers. And those definitely hit the mark. But since coming back, I thought, oh, yeah, but I played with those. But as a kid, I did receive a few Palitoy Action Men with flocked hair, eagle eyes, and the gripping hands. So I've tracked down a few of those. And probably my favorite Action Man came with a particular costume. And I've tracked down that costume. However, it's still sealed. And I'm on the fence about whether to open that or not. But that will all be addressed in upcoming videos. I know you're more of a 60s Batman fan. I wonder if you would choose to post a post-60s Batmobile you liked. Which one could that be? Honestly, I don't know. I really haven't paid a great deal of attention to modern Batman stuff. What I have seen, I don't care for. I just love that old 60s machine. I've not kept up with the Batman 66 line. Have they done Shame, Mad Hatter, or Clock King? No, they have not. They haven't even hinted at those, which I think is quite awful. This line has so much potential, and the fact that they've already drifted off. Things went downhill when they did the Two-Face from the comic book. I thought that was a one-off, but no, this upcoming wave, I think it's the robot Batman, there's a weird looking Joker, there's Lord Deathman, and there's Superman. What that has to do with Batman 66, I don't know, but they are clever because the branding does not say, in fact, no, I tell a lie. The branding on all the other figures have the TV logo on the card. These comic book ones say Batman 66, which was the comic book line. So they've really kind of jumped the shark here, I think. Rough Rider, I had the top of one of them, the A-Team attack van and Faces. Yep, they did Faces Corvette. There was some sort of attack van, another sort of military thing, but they had the Enforcer van. And I cannot find that van for the life of me. Love your honesty, Dean. You, Val, call it as it is. No one's a shill. Yeah. The Weeble playset. Yeah, the Weebles. I mean, I only had the one Weeble for some reason, but yeah, I would really like to try and get just that one again. I missed out on the 66 Batgirl pre-order, and I have no intention of paying scalpers prices for it, so I'm probably done. Yeah, it's pretty bad when they don't make enough of these to go around and people end up missing out. Love the Ladybird Transformers book. Still have a few to this day. I only have the one. I think it had Jazz on the front cover. I'll need to dig that out again. The Batman 66 Superman could have at least been George Reeves or Christopher Reeve. Yeah, it's a very generic looking Batman. Some said it looked like Elon Musk. A-Team van for the Galoob figures, the larger series. Maybe that could be a nice indie custom. Yeah, that would be nice. Just, yeah, if someone could make that, that would be kind of cool, actually. Because the figures themselves, I have the 4 main guys. I'm not paying what they want for Amy. And that Amy looks terrible anyway. I have those. Those will stand nicely. I have an old vintage. Now here's a question: is it called ERTL or ERTL? But I have a die-cast van, and I recently got a modern die-cast van, so that's enough for me. But yeah, a van for those would be nice. I think they did one sort of weird helicopter for Murdoch in that scale, but that was about it, I think. Monkey Boy Joy, yeah, I have all of those. They are great. I will feature it on my channel at some point. Nice. Yeah, there was something quite special about those Ladybird books. Just the art in them is such classic art, and that's definitely. I definitely need to get those 3 from the, because they had 1, 2, and 3 for nursery rhymes. But I do remember having a whole shelf full of Ladybird books. I guess people just, or family members, would give you those at Christmas. And the best part is when looking at eBay, some of them have inscriptions like to Jennifer, Merry Christmas from Grandma and Granddad, 1974. It's so quaint to look at and such a nice look back in time. But for my collection going forward, it really is going to be pretty much exclusively a vintage collection. And I don't mean the Star Wars vintage collection. What I mean is everything I'm going to have on display is going to be from 70s and 80s. Now, some might say the Motu Origins is modern, and yes, it is indeed modern, but it's a representation of what was available back in the 80s. And given not only the cost of getting vintage, but also the fact that the vintage ones really didn't hold up well, Motu Origins is the perfect replacement for those. Yes, my Batman collection is a mixture of vintage and modern, but for the most part, my display will be a classic kid of the early 80s display. So what I'm thinking is, I won't know till I get there, obviously, but in my mind, I'm imagining how the shelves are going to look. So I'm thinking one shelf will be Star Wars figures, and that includes a few 12-inch figures, a lot of miscellaneous. I have some vintage Topps cards, one or two bits of modern, another shelf with all the vintage Kenner ships and play sets with figures. Got my G1 Transformers, my Mask, my actual childhood Lego, mostly space, but there will be some Lego Village stuff. I have Star Trek. Well, that's a mix of real vintage, and I guess at this point in time, mid-90s is now vintage. Got $6 Million Man, Lone Ranger, Action Man, Action Force. What else? Adventure People. A whole slew of Corgis and Matchbox. I've got my Dukes of Hazzard stuff also as well. Exclusively to I'm slurring. Oh, good Lord, I am slurring now. Exclusive to Patreon will be a video looking at my Dukes of Hazzard toys. Exclusive to Patreon because the flag. So that will be coming soon to Patreon. But yeah, I'll have those on display. I got my old Knight Rider walkie-talkies. So a lot of really classic 80s toys will be on my display. And I'm really looking forward to finally seeing things set up, because for too long now, it's all been stashed away in boxes. And Jason is saying, and a bike for Face, as I was looking today to see what vehicle. Oh, really? They made a bike for Face. Interesting. Is that in the 6-inch scale? I didn't know that. Watching this and listening to the Eagles on the radio. I truly have gone back in time. Nice one. Ladybird books are something really special, as I'm sure most have only fond memories of. Yeah, I mean, bearing in mind, so when I was 4 years old in 78, the books I was reading were from the 60s. So it was, even then it was vintage. It was quaint, and the artwork is just so nice. And so I'm going to have to get those 3 nursery rhyme books. But I did see in my search they had a book about Christmas from Ladybird, so I'm going to try and get that as well. But again, the problem is, though, the book itself is a couple of bucks, but the shipping is extortionate. Now, next question is, for the Christmas party live streams, what is the ideal frequency, duration, and format? Because like I said, I think I've exhausted I think we've looked at the radio times, we've looked at the Argos catalog enough times now. So what would be interesting to bring up for Christmas? I would like to make it a bit more fresh and interesting, but definitely with a look back to what we enjoyed as children. Oh, thank you, Tyridium. Welcome back. What do you think about McFarlane's superpowers these days? Are they harder to get? I honestly don't know. That's not a line as I have looked at. As a kid, I don't know if those were available in the UK or not. But it was not on my radar back then. So as such, it's not something that would really interest me. So Jason is saying, yes, 6-inch. When I saw it, I was like, I never saw that in a 3.75 line, then saw Face on it in the right outfit. Wow, a bike for Face. So we have the Murdoch's copter. So now there's also a bike. Did not know that. So as we're getting closer to the end here, let me just open this to a Q&A. So if anyone has any questions, I'll do my best to answer. And if not, we can wrap this up. But it's been nice to see everyone here in the chat. So it's nice to know that I've not been forgotten. Now, David says, I love the AT8's Christmas live streams with guests where you all talk about your Christmas memories from the 70s and 80s. Oh, awesome. Glad you enjoyed that. Maybe we can just do a memory recall type thing. Monkey Boy is saying he thinks the Argos catalogs and the TV listings are still a good idea. Yeah, but you see, the trouble is, though, I've done this for the past 3 years, and I don't want anyone to say, "Oh, we saw that before." I'm not sure. Let's think about this. I mean, it is nice to look back at those catalogs, isn't it? It's good to, although it is a bit depressing to see just how cheap things were back in the day. But yeah, we can definitely do a segment on that, I guess. I'll give it some thought, actually. Maybe we can incorporate a quiz or something. I don't know. Nick is saying, been listening, epic. Oh, thank you, Nick. That's very kind of you. Jaws says, what I love about the Ladybird Transformers books is the artwork matched the toys and not the cartoon. Yes. I don't know who the artists were who did Ladybird, but they really captured the moment, I think. And again, as I said earlier, the books that I was getting as a kid were published back in the 60s, and there's a real quaintness to them. It's just something you don't get these days. I've been flicking the TV here, excuse me, and they have modern, updated versions of the cartoons I enjoyed as a kid, and the animation sucks. It just looks so, I guess the word is computerized. There was something really nice about having an artist paint the pictures for those books. What about talking about big movie premieres that happened at Christmas? Yeah, that's the thing, because ITV always had the latest and greatest movies. That's where a lot of us saw Star Wars, Indiana Jones, James Bond for the first time was the ITV movie premiere. Oh, it's making me sad now. I just wished I was still back there. Maybe the Christmas music charts. Well, I did do that, actually. I think I've lost track of time, but I did a Christmas countdown one year. It wasn't live. It was a video where I had segments, one of which was the top 10 Christmas charts of that particular year. And yeah, I'll definitely can visit that again. Speaking of which, when in Thailand, I happened to watch on sister-in-law's big screen was the was it Netflix, possibly Netflix show about Wham, and that really did take me back in time. It was wonderful to see all that stuff and a lot of sort of unseen footage of Wham back in the day, and of course the whole Last Christmas video shoot. That was so nice to watch that. Nice to see you back, Dean, and you were never forgot. Oh, thank you so much. Perhaps you need to do a Christmas variety live stream. Lots you could do, and I always remember the old Royal Variety shows. Yeah, those were the best. I always do remember things such as you would have there would be a comedian, there would be a dance act, you would have Duran Duran or Adam and the Ants. You would have an actor do a profound speech and everything. Yeah, those were the days. Oh, good Lord. Hang on. I've got two to get to. Oof. This has been a great live stream, Dean. Very inclusive and fun. Everyone put a love heart in the chat to show the. Oh, hey, give over, lad. Thank you, Monkey Boy. Trading Places is still my favorite Christmas movie. Oh, I don't think I've seen that. Tree, what are you doing? Thanks for your valuable videos, Dean. Please share AT8 with your friends. Thank you, Tree. Oy, I'm touched. That's beyond generous. Thank you so much. Thank you. Honestly, thank you. I second that. Wow. Yes. Wow. Wow. indeed. Thank you, Gerard. Yes, it really is. Humbled is not the word, but thank you. Yes, Jason, he is an absolute gentleman. He really is. He has been one of the biggest supporters of this channel, and it really is absolutely, well, I'm speechless. That's the evidence right there. Yep, mic drop indeed. Did I get that one? Absolute gent, and it is a mic drop. It's hard to move on from that. I am astounded that people think enough of me to do that. Yes, but believe it or not, we are. Oh, and Nick is saying, "Wow, yeah." One could purchase many an ale with it. Yes, they could. They could indeed. Going back to the whole Christmas thing, so I want to make it as inclusive as possible. And I think here's the problem though with live streams. There gets a point where you have too many guests, and a live stream is just people talking over each other. I really want to avoid that, but I don't want to exclude anyone. So maybe we can set up. Well, this sounds obnoxious, as if there will be enough people wanting to be on. But if there's enough interest, we can schedule things so that things don't get too crazy on screen, so we can keep the conversation flowing, because there's nothing worse than watching a live stream and having people talk over each other. So I want to avoid that if at all possible. But I would like to get as many people on so we can share memories of Christmas. And the fact that it's only a matter of weeks away is quite frightening. Now, given that my tradition is, because I wasn't born in America, Thanksgiving means absolutely nothing to me. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I never grew up with it. So on Thanksgiving Day, that's my decoration day. So the end of November, things are fully furnished. So we can start doing Christmas live streams immediately the minute December starts. So we could get a number of these. It could be twice a week. So there could be 8 of these Christmas streams. Maybe we can include some sort of fabricated advent calendar of sorts, or we could be dangerous and do a Blue Peter Christmas candle or advent candle with flammable tinsel wrapped around a coat hanger. I don't know. That's an idea. Let's see. Oh no, she's here. Let me get to this. So Jaws gives the hearts. Jason will be interested. Jason, you are one of the first guests. Trust me on that. Now everyone be on their best behavior. Here she is, Mrs. AT8. Thank you so much for all of you guys for support. Mr. Dean. Oh, yeah. Concon Cap. Yeah, here she is. Are you on break or what? I don't know. Anyway, we'd definitely love to contribute. Oh, you're all welcome. Oh, Jason says hi to Diamond. Petty's got the hands up. Here's one Deed made early. Yeah. Going back to Blue Peter and their flammable Advent candles, who thought it was a good idea to have kids wrap flammable tinsel around a coat hanger and then light a candle and have that wax dripping and flames everywhere? In fact, didn't it catch fire one year? I remember the elephant shat all over the floor, and one of the presenters got dragged in, or was that the zookeeper? But I'm sure the candle once caught fire, and we all remember the Blue Peter garden getting vandalized. But yeah, so let's think about that one. Oh, thank you, Lester. Kind of you. Oh, hi everyone. Here we go. Please don't sell yourself short, Dean. For you are a fantastic YouTuber. We wouldn't follow you and sub to you if we were not. Oh, thank you, Jaws. Hi, Petchy. Daniel, I'd be interested to learn about Christmas in Thailand. Well, I can give you some insight. Uh, they may not celebrate the birth of Christ, but my God, they do love a Christmas tree. And they also do love Wham's Last Christmas, as I can attest to, given that I was bombarded with it in all the shopping malls. But it will be fun to. Although in saying that, how will I react to Christmas in shorts? That's going to be a bit weird. Wonder how many caught fire. And yeah, I bet a lot of people set fire to their homes with that damn candle. The matriarch has arrived to collect. Yeah, so I'm trying to think how we can do this for Christmas to make something interesting and unique. So maybe we can do we can even do show us your best ever Christmas gift from the 80s. So if you still have it, or maybe you acquired it again, we can share the stories of what made that gift so special. Welcome. So, Halloween's coming, right? So I've been studying my Thai language book, and with Mrs. AT8's help, I learned something rather interesting. So the Thai word for pumpkin is fuck tong. And I cannot stop saying fuck tong. So we can do a Halloween show. I think I did one a few years back. Also, as well, I had to remove my video of the compilation of Halloween commercials from the 80s because that was reused content, but that will go up on Patreon as well. Did anyone ever build the Blue Peter Tracy Island? I remember seeing it, but I did not build it, but I did actually make myself a few Action Man tanks from shoeboxes, which I got inspired by watching Blue Peter. Hang on, Monkey Boy is laughing. Jaw says, yes, I do remember the elephant taking a shit live on Blue Peter. Yep. I think it was either a shit or a wee-wee. It was one of the two. But I remember the zookeeper getting dragged across the floor. Fantastic stuff. Evening, folks. The fire on Blue Peter was when they had a bonfire with the Girl Guides singing on the show. Okay, I've got to look that up. Yeah. Now, am I the only one that found Blue Peter a bit of a downer? Now, what I mean by that is, when I was a kid, I didn't understand the concept of scheduled TV programming, and I would always sit down not knowing what was coming on next. And every day, just after John Craven's news round, I would be saying, please be Grange Hill, please be Grange Hill, and that would come Blue Peter, and I would be devastated. But was that a somewhat boring show for boys? I think it was. I mean, to me, Crackerjack, Grange Hill were far more preferable to Blue Peter, but maybe I'm unique in that. Jason's laughing there. So let me put my thinking cap on to come up with some concepts for Christmas. And last year, I think I confess, I went into a bit of a mood because when I came back from Thailand, I did this big unbox. Like, I had a ton of packages arrive and did the unboxing video, which Monkey Boy joined me on, and the viewing was not good. I did one Christmas party, viewing was terrible. I did another, the viewing was even worse. And then I think we had CFCB come on to discuss the mask 3D printed line, and that viewing wasn't good. And I said, I'm done with this. So maybe I need to do better promotion next time. Let's see. I'd rather be watching He-Man, Transformers, or Nightmare than Blue Peter. Absolutely. A good friend of mine named Connor has recently moved to Thailand and purchased a bar. I now pester him daily for a job. He's loving it there. I'm excited to give me the details. Maybe I can visit. And Gerard agrees with David. Looking forward to the Christmas live streams. Whatever the format will be, it will be nice. with this fine group of people in the chat. Absolutely. Thank you for saying that. Bluepedia was more for middle class kids. Middle class, was it? I mean, I always remember one thing about Bluepedia was when they made the recipes and they used Smarties, they always called it chocolate beans, which always bothered me for some reason. But obviously, they couldn't advertise Smarties on the BBC. Another idea for a subject: how did we customize our toys as children? Who made dioramas with pizza boxes, etc.? Actually, as it happens, you'll be seeing soon how I have reacquired my Britain's soldiers. And I remember one time taking a tray from my mum's kitchen and covering it with dirt to put those soldiers in. So maybe that kind of counts, I guess. I'd be interested to know if Santa has ever let down or disappointed any of us. Oh, of course he has. Yep, great topic. And Nick is saying, I liked when they made stuff on Blue Peter, though. Like when they made a Turtles sewer diorama out of a shoebox was epic, albeit it seemed so at the height of the Turtles craze. Yeah, they definitely did some stuff for Action Man. John Craven's News Round. Now you're really taking me back. Oh, yeah. Sticky back plastic. Yeah. And that was what? Double-sided tape? Magpie was ITV's answer to Blue Peter and had Jenny Hanley as presenter, much fitter than Valerie Singleton. Now we had, on Blue Peter, I need to think about this. Yeah, none were particularly stunning, were they? The end of Art Attack knocked my socks off. Art Attack, now he was the guy from number 73. Now, was he Mark Buchanan, perchance? I don't remember. But yeah, I remember number 73. So I would sometimes flick between, I was going to say Swap Shop, but Swap Shop was like 70s, 80s. Saturday Superstore, was that the next one? And then Going Live, perhaps? I forget. Neil Buchanan, yes. And again, Neil Buchanan, he was the artist. Oh, hi, Ken. It's good to see you. I got some more Britain soldiers, but Western figures this time. Okay, Jason, you will see very soon. I have completed my Childhood Britain's collection and then some. When I was a kid, I had the British and the Germans, and that was it. But I've since got some Americans and Japanese. So yeah, we'll take a look at those very soon. Neil, yes. Oops. Tony Hart and Morph, yes. And funnily enough, because of Jason, I have a really nice Morph figure. Johnny, good to see you. Dean the Man, except no substitutes. Yes, indeed. Now, actually, we're at 2 hours and the bladder is almost bursting. If I can ask forgiveness and just let me disappear for 90 seconds again, I'll be right back and we can conclude things. But please do stick by. We've got 41 right now. When I come back, please be 41. Give me 2 seconds. Apologies for that. And oh, we lost 3 people in that little bathroom break there. Oh well. Um, Jason is saying, very nice. Oh, yeah, thank you, Jason. Yeah. The Britain soldiers, I'm thinking I must have got them at the same time as Star Wars. So clearly, Star Wars was my main focus from 1980 until the spring of 84. So I had a damn good run with Star Wars. Make no question of that. But I began sort of backing off in spring of 84 with Star Wars. But I think I must have been 10 at the time, and really enjoyed collecting those. And also, as with many of my toys as a kid, I had some handed down from my half brothers. So I had some of the Britons that had the sand colored bases. The ones I was buying new had the green bases. So the ones I've got now all have the green bases, which is what I remember as a kid. Kickstart was always impressive. Yeah. I was discussing this with my friend recently in Scotland, how when we were kids, no one we knew had a motorcycle. So when they put on Junior's Kickstart, we were all thinking, how the hell do those kids have motorcycles? Tittle time indeed. I loved Kickstart. Yeah, it was a great show. 90, 89, 88. Yeah, I think I got back in time. Kickstart, it was a very cool show. And who else recreated those obstacle courses in their gardens to use their BMXs on? Because I sure as hell did. Do you remember Magpie, Rod, Jane, and Freddie? That was Rainbow, was it not? And I believe Art Attack was hosted by Pat Sharp. No, Pat Sharp was on 73 with Buchanan. There was Pat Sharp with the frosted mullet, Mark Buchanan, and there were 2 ladies. One was a slightly heftier girl with blonde hair to about here, and one was a redhead, I believe. Please do comment. We Are the Champions. No, yeah, We Are the Champions was interesting. The only good part of that show was at the end, and that, hang on, was that Ron Pickering? And at the end, so they would have the last event would be in the pool, maybe swimming lengths or whatever. And at the end, he would say, I have, hang on, but it's kind of, at the end, he would say, hey kids, I've got 3 more words, away you go. And they would all jump in and have fun. That was always interesting. But We Are the Champions was kids doing sports, but It's a Knockout was more fun to watch. But I think the host may have become a nonce. I'm not entirely sure. Please do let me know. Both Monkey Boy and Dean have made this the most epic of Sunday. Oh, thank you, Gerard. That's extremely kind of you. Were sectors a thing in the UK? They may have been, bearing in mind my days of toys ended in 86, so I'm not sure. They may have been after. I know a lot of the lads who watch this are younger than me, so they may have had experience of that. Again, my last ever toy was the Mask line. I believe so, William. Thanks, Gerard. Yes, thank you. Ooh, so now there's the making of a greatest show of X versus Y, right down to a final show. I don't know what that means. Jason, you were getting any of the Britain's vehicles? I only have one, which is one I had as a kid, which was the German motorcycle and sidecar. I could be tempted, but I really have to watch things because, like I said, I have been spending like out of control, knowing that I will recoup that money, but I don't need to go overboard. And my main target was to get things I had as a kid. I still have my Superman coin bank from 1968. Wow, fantastic. Monkey Boy's toy. Do you mean the motorcycle trials program? Yes, Kickstart. Yeah. Da, 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 da. I think that's it. Pat Sharp did Full House. Yes, Pat Sharp. Yes, Full House. Mullets are back, baby. Oh yeah, I think he had the ultimate mullet, really, and it was blonde. It was spiky on top and straight as a die at the back. A real classic mullet right there. Yeah, Kickstart music. Do you remember? Was it Neil Buchanan who hosted Art Attack? Yes, it was Neil Buchanan. Indiana. I have no Indiana Jones pieces. I believe I've seen, not all, but I've seen a few of the movies. But as a kid, it didn't resonate with me. To me, that was Han Solo as an old guy in dirty clothes. That's just my take on it. Maybe I'll take the time to watch them all. But by all accounts, this last movie was a bit of a disaster. I don't know. I have no knowledge. But if you let me know in these comments, did you enjoy this last Indiana Jones movie, or was it more Disney garbage? I don't know. Thanks for Dean's little rendition back in. Oh, okay, sorry about that. Yeah, that was the theme tune, right? But also as well, did any of you guys know anyone as a kid who had a motorcycle? In our town, I don't believe anyone as a kid had a motorcycle. So how were these kids going on the show riding these motorcycles? Was I jealous? Yeah, I probably was jealous. But I made the most of it with my BMX. And I definitely did recreate those obstacles in the back garden. And I definitely did crush my balls a few times falling off that tight beam, and my feet would go down and get crushed on the top bar of the bicycle. Yes, Neil Buchanan was Art Attack. I meant 16 top shows, then randomly select 2 shows to go against each other, kind of like quarterfinal. Gotcha. Yes. Yep, absolutely. There are so many shows to go head to head with. Yeah, we can do comedies, game shows, kids shows, cartoons. Absolutely. I thought that too. Not only did they have motorbikes, but they can balance on those beams. Yeah, those kids must have spent their whole free time on those motorcycles. I enjoyed Dial of Destiny. It was a nice send-off for the character of Indiana Jones, better than the 4th film anyway. I had a 50cc moped as a kid, but I was already 16. Okay, but we're talking about these 10-year-olds with these dirt bikes. It was quite something. I don't think it was as bad as some are saying. I watched it and I enjoy it. I would say it was the best. Would I say it was the best Indian? No, I would not say it was. Listen, I am not trying to create any trouble with any other channels. And as you may know, I already made peace with those other channels, but does it really justify a 3-hour hit piece? I don't know. Let me know. Battle of Britain or the Blue Max movies? Blue Max? What's Blue Max? My younger brother raced BMX bikes in the 80s. Wow. Yeah, I was more about doing the stunts. Although we did have a track was built in our town, but it was bizarre. It wasn't a loop. It was basically a track. And I remember you would go down, you would turn right, you would go left. There was a couple of jumps. There was a tabletop, and there was a big hump at the end. And that was it. You had to turn around and go back the way. Had it been a loop, it would have been so much better. I did in my discussions with my friend Derek in Scotland, I remembered the Kellogg's BBC cut. The Kellogg's BMX show that was shown on ITV, and that was quite fun to watch. First World War film, Blue Max. Okay, not seen that. Again, I've not seen many movies. I don't know why. I think as a kid, I just wanted to be outside. I really didn't have the desire to stay indoors and watch a movie. But I am catching up. You know, I will get there in the end. But yeah, so I really should wrap this up, I guess. But I just want to know in closing, I have 4 months worth of videos. So we're talking what? 20, like say 20 to 30 videos that have not been published to YouTube. I don't want to bombard you with videos every day, but if I do a couple a week mixed in with new updated currently filmed videos, is that acceptable? Or do you want me just to put everything out in one go and bombard you? I don't know what to do here. And I'm sure the algorithm has me stuck right at the bottom. So whatever I do put out, if you can watch it, that would be highly appreciated and quite beneficial to getting things back to where they were. Now, I am thinking about also doing some sort of videos that are a quiz of sorts, whereby if I take, for example, 10 classic 80s album covers and only reveal a small portion of that cover and give you 10 seconds to guess what it is, and then reveal that album cover, see how you do. Same thing applies with maybe a small portion of an action figure, 10 seconds to try and guess what that action figure is. Movie posters, etc. Is that something of interest? It's kind of interactive, I guess. And you can let me know in the comments how well you did out of 10. Because as things stand right now, filming new videos, I don't have the same amount of time as I've had previously to make videos. So if I can do something that doesn't require filming, that would be quite useful to me. And like I said, a quiz type thing is somewhat interactive, so maybe that could be of interest, but please do let me know. I need more ideas. A real childhood has no room for health and safety. Absolutely not. Interestingly enough, I found myself becoming extremely cautious. The other day I was walking and in the park, and there was a lot of rainfall. In fact, you may have seen the flooding in New York. I think, I'll be honest, it wasn't that bad here. So those videos of streets with like 3 feet high water, I thought that has to be fake news. But anyway, it did rain, a lot of puddles and things. And I was walking in the park, and to avoid a puddle, I was walking on this very thin curb. And as a kid, that would have been no problem. But as an adult, I'm thinking, don't slip, don't slip. You might twist your ankle. Yes, old man Dean is speaking. Tree is saying, thanks for creating these human connect. Oh, well, thank you, Tree. And again, really, thank you. A couple of videos a week seems a good idea. Okay, I'll do that then. Glad you're back. God bless. We'll be standing by for your videos. Well, thank you so much. Publish one every couple of days. Spread it out. Yep, I'll do that. So we'll start tomorrow, and we'll do Stan Solo first because he deserves to be seen. Spread it out, I would say. Thanks, Jason. I will watch your videos regardless, but would it be better for the channel to spread them out a bit? I think maybe once every 2 or 3 days, perhaps. That sounds like fun. Okay. Will there be a Mac Lads LP involved? Honestly, I don't think so. I would drip feed the content over the next couple of months, and your ideas about a 10-second reveal sounds good. Okay, thank you, Monkey Boy. Trickle it out for the time being. I would recommend, sir. Less is more for now, maybe. Either way, your fan base shall remain. Oh, your fan base sounds a bit odd. Not too many videos at the same time. Personally, I would not find the time to watch it at all at the same moment. By spreading the content of advantage, yeah, I think I agree with that, actually. You could use the 80s blockbusters quiz game live and get two guests to play against each other. Maybe for Christmas we could do some sort of quiz. Yeah, I think a quiz for Christmas would be useful, but that will involve me thinking up the quiz, but that's something I can deal with. 3 a week. Yeah, 2 or 3 a week. How about that? If we do even every 3 days, that just goes beyond a week. So every 3 days, something. But as I said earlier, it will be confusing somewhat because you will see me in Thailand with the on tour intro, and then you'll see me present day. But you know what? It's all videos. It's all good. Spread them out. There we go. Oh, Boba Hicks is here. Good to see you, sir. Yes. I'm up for being involved in a quiz. Absolutely. Of course you will be involved. An 80s quiz sounds great. Now, how do we do a quiz on a live stream? Do you have to write down the answers and then show it to the camera? And then I have to keep score, I guess. Or maybe we can have a scorekeeper as well, because I can't do everything at once. I can barely live my life, let alone facilitate a quiz. Your comeback is like waiting to see who shot JR. Funnily enough, I was flicking the channels and they had Dallas showed up. I didn't watch that yet, but I did. I have been watching a lot of old cartoons. I've watched some Popeye, some Pink Panther, some Flintstones. It's a wonderful throwback. Ed, good to see you. Good to see you as well, Ed. So, Esva asks, interesting question. How to do a live stream quiz? Yeah, I think it has to be done with pencil and paper. That's the only way to do it. Let me look into this, because this is something I would like to do, because I really do enjoy old TV game shows and things. And is there some way to recreate a show we enjoyed as kids, or just do a straight up quiz and have someone keep score? Excuse me. You know what? I'm more than certain a Google search will reveal ready-made quizzes, but let me look into this. I will get back to you all. Now, there's a quiz question right there. Who shot JR? And you know what? I don't know who shot JR, but I do remember clear as day as a kid. Where we lived, my mom had a friend on Golf Course Road, and her daughter was in my class. So we would spend a lot of time there. And I remember being forced to be there one night because as a boy, I didn't want to hang out with a girl. Change days, but back then that was how it was. And the parents, so my mom and the girl's mom, were discussing who shot JR. Sue Ellen was a name that comes into my head, but I don't know if that's the answer or not. Gerard is laughing. You ask the question, you give 4 answers, and the contestant choose a letter. Okay, multiple choice. Or, I could just ask the question and they have to write down the answers and show the answer on screen. And then maybe we can have a scorekeeper who is not me keep score. Because maybe for showing it, I have to flick between full screen or not. I don't know. We'll get to that. Kristen, I don't know who Kristen is, but I'm assuming that was a character on Dallas. Okay, hang on. Blankety blank on Christmas Day 84. Dean was found in his bedroom playing with his blank. 84. Okay, I know the answer to that, but let's see if the audience knows. I was going to say there, I've lost my train of thought. That's a great point, David. So blankety blank style. Hang on a minute. We could do blankety blank. That would mean having one guest as a contestant and 3 as panelists, and me as the host and someone else as scorekeeper. This could work. Yes, of course, Monkey Boy. Kristen shot JR. Okay, I don't know. Bearing in mind, I never watched Dallas as a kid. Dallas was on the TV, but I was probably playing. I know I was going to say when I lost that train of thought. Here's my question. I don't know how you can put this phonetically into the chat, but is it dynasty or is it dynasty? Let me know. Yeah, this is He-Man. I don't understand. But now I'm getting excited at the prospect of these Christmas quizzes. And there must be tinsel or Santa hats involved as well. Don't know blankety blank, but sounds like an interesting concept. Yeah, it's basically a phrase with a blank word, and the contestant has to guess the correct word, and 3 people give suggestions. And if you pick the right suggestion and it matches up, you win the prize. Well, when I say you win the prize, there's no prize, but back in blankety blank, it was probably like a toaster or a mug tree or, I don't know, a Des O'Connor LP or something. Dean, 84, was playing with his He-Man. Actually, no, I never owned any Masters of the Universe toys. I wanted them badly, but my mom explained to me, if you want He-Man toys, you can't have Star Wars toys. So I said, no. I'm not giving up Star Wars. So I stayed with Star Wars. So that's why Origins has been a blessing for me, because I can now get very close representations of what I didn't have as a kid for relatively cheap. Although I'm now done collecting them because of aforementioned reasons. I never liked Dallas as a child, but the opening titles do give me a major nostalgia rush. Oh, of course they would. Technically, it's Dynasty because it's an American show, Dynasty. Again, with the Kiss album from, I think, 79. Paul Stanley calls it Dynasty. But I remember my grandma calling it Dynasty. I did blankety blank for Christmas. Did it on a PowerPoint. Had 2 contestants and a super match game. Super match game. Super match game. Yeah. Oh, the memories are coming flying back. I still remember the super match game jingle. There we go. I think I just sang it or said it. On Amazon, Top Trumps 1980s quiz card game. Let's go back to the 80s. Okay. 500 questions. Oh. Curtin was a woman, JR, who was having an affair with, and she shot him after dumping her ab. Okay, so who? Okay, like I said, my only recollection of that was being at my mum's friend's house with my classmate, and the word or the name Sue Ellen being mentioned as the shooter. Aside from that, I know nothing else about Dallas. Now, Joan Collins, was she in Dallas or Dynasty/Dynasty? Because she was in one of those shows. I don't know which one. Is this the 7-hour Indiana Jones 5 review? Absolutely not. No. Good Lord, but at 2 hours 30. I don't know how this happens. I get so anxious, so nervous to the point where I want to cancel it at the last minute. Here we are, 2 hours 30 in, and I'm still going. I don't know how this happens. My mom absolutely loved Dallas. The show always brings back good memories, much more than her other TV blind date. And that was the Scouser with the red hair, Scylla. Scylla Black, is that the one? I parodied the Blankety Blank theme tune on one of my videos a couple of months ago. They also want a Blankety Blank checkbook and pen. There we go. Blankety Blank checkbook and pen. 80s themed Pictionary. Okay. We've got a lot to work on here. Kirsten shot JR after he refused to leave his wife. Sue Ellen was JR's wife. Okay. Now, question here. I didn't watch the show. Did JR die and that was him gone from the show, or was that the dream that someone had and he was back in the show? Please do let me know. It was Bing Crosby's daughter who shot JR. Sadly got to run, Dean, but great stream. Well, thank you, Nick. Nice for you to stop by. Dean in a fedora would go down a treat. No. Joan Collins was a Batman 66 villain. Yes, she was. And the acting in that was terrible. So when she opened her mouth to emit the scream, it just looked so fake. Dallas was all about big theme tune, big hats, boots, shoulder pads, and hair. That sounds like the 80s. It happens because we all enjoy the space you create. Looking forward to the new content coming down. Oh, thank you. Shoulder pads, yeah, those were a thing. Yeah. Glad you're back. Been lurking for years, but really comment in Aberdeen. Okay, Aberdeen. No, thank you for stopping by. That's so nice of you. So I guess my focus now is on working out how to best incorporate a good Christmas show. And if I get a good plan together, and that sounds like Hannibal from the A-Team, we should do 2 a week, but not to step on other people's toes. So for sure, I think Sunday typically is a good day to do a live stream. Sunday, and maybe the old Thursday slot, I guess. Or I don't know. You know what? Who cares about stepping on toes? We'll work this out, but I think if we do 2 a week, that'll be 8 in total. That's more than enough. And we can have recurring guests and a recurring format. Yeah, let's work on this. Next opening theme from the 80s has to be Chips. And Joan Collins was in Dynasty. Okay, I knew she was in one of those two. The dream shower thing was to bring back Bobby Ewing after they killed him off. Since then, Dirty Den, Kathy Beale, and Cindy Beale have all come back from the dead. And the EastEnders. Oh, really? Dirty Den. Oh, I do remember that. Hang on. So there was Dirty Den, and what was the old lady with the black hair? Dot Cotton. Wasn't her son like a bad boy as well? Nick Cotton, did he ever die and come back? I have no idea. It was Bobby Ewing in the Dallas shower scene. Chips was boss. And in fact, now you mention Chips, I think I had a die-cast Chips motorcycle as a kid. And that's another one to add to my goddamn list. Oh, it just never ends. There's always more things that come into the memory that you want to have back in your possession. But actually, here's a question. Now, I have one toy. This is definitely a 70s toy. And I think it was from Tommy. It was called the Big Loader, which sounds obscene in these days, but it was like basically a motorized, how do I say this? It wasn't a chassis. It was the opposite of chassis, but it was a motorized piece that would go and it would pick up a couple of bodies and would go around a track, and one had a bucket on it, and it would lift up balls, which were meant to be coals, and put them into one part. The truck would then go back the way and take on a different body, and it would be a different type of bucket that would then move them to another part, and then the thing would come back again. And that was all done by pressing a button on the track. And then it would go to the final part that would put them into a dump truck. And that would then dump them into the original hopper. And the whole thing would start again. Does anyone else remember this toy? And I'm sure it was called Big Loader from Tommy. Please tell me I'm not crazy. Last time I watched EastEnders, Lofty was in it. Now, Lofty... Now, I get confused with Lofty and Curly Watts. Curly Watts was Coronation Street. Lofty, I do not remember. But the name does ring a bell. I really enjoyed last year's Christmas shows. Loved being on one with you and Monkey Boy. Nothing but thinking through the old Argus catalogue over half a dozen Christmas... Oh, thank you, Ed. That is what it's all about. And you will definitely be here this December, which isn't very far away. I remember Mum calling me in from playing outside saying, Chips is on. I said, put them in the oven. In the oven, not the deep fat chip pan? Wow. Really great to see you back, Dean, but I really must go. Great. Oh, thank you, Toy Boy. Big Loader. So Monkey Boy remembers. Big Loader. So I'm not imagining this, right? It was... There were three different bodies. There was one that accepted the balls from the top level, that came down and maybe even put them on the floor, and the other one came and scooped them up, and one put them in the back of the dump truck, and the dump truck went up and reversed up a hill and dumped them back in. If that is correct, we are onto a winner here. I sold one of them on eBay, Palatoy. I thought it was Tommy. Interesting. I got a Big Loader a few years ago. I was mesmerized by it as a child and needed to rebuy it. Fantastic. Okay, I will do some searches. Big Loader or something. There we go. Big Loader. Yep. In terms of classic TV, anyone remember Jake and the Fat Man? Not really. Monkey Boy says, Ed, you were a brilliant guest. Indeed he was. Absolutely. So Big Loader is a thing. So it's not my imagination. Now, to me, that was a Sunday afternoon thing because my dad would bugger off and play golf with his friends. And Mum would watch her stuff on TV while I would play Big Loader. And then it would be time for Terrahawks and Bullseye. So yeah, Big Loader. So yeah. So hang on, who bought this recently? Let me see. Ed. So Ed, is it still as good now as it was then? I do need to know. That sounds like something I need to investigate. Sorry. From a deep fat fryer. just to keep them warm. Ah, yes, I remember that. Yeah. Oh, yes, absolutely, Ed. You were a fantastic guest who really did recapture those memories of Christmas past. Yes, Nick Cotton was killed off and was not brought back from the dead. Maybe the actor played another character, but not Nick Cotton. Lofty got Sharon pregnant with her first kid. Uh, Lofty. Hang on, so I'm all confused here. Lofty was EastEnders, and so Curly Watts was Coronation Street, and Lofty was EastEnders. Oh, Monkey Boy. Ah, yes. Now, do you remember now? Grey track, red hopper, and possibly an orange thing with a metal pipe going across, which would allow the motorized vehicle to go under into the next body. Is that how it worked? Please do let me know. Nah, big loader. Ah, it's still entertaining. I will do a live demo. Awesome. Thank you, Ed. No, big track was the thing that you would program in with like like numbers, I think, and it would do various things. Although in the commercial they had it deliver an apple in the back of the trailer to the father, which was all kind of boring. And I think in real life it was not a particularly interesting toy to have as a kid. I didn't have it. I have a broken one in my possession, but I can't get it to work. So it's, it's not a lot of use. What would be, okay, I'm just thinking forward to these Christmas party shows. Could it be one segment could be a show and tell of your favorite Christmas gift for one particular year? Because obviously if I'm going to be on all of these, I have to have 8 different gifts, and it's hard to think of 8. But if you can think of something that you really enjoyed having as a kid, and as I've said recently in some videos, some of my best ever Christmas gifts were things that I did not expect, because prior to understanding the concept of Santa, I didn't know you could write a list to Santa for things you would like. So I would just get gifts. And some of those are by far my favorites. So maybe that's the same with some of you people watching. I don't know. Johnny says Big Track was boring over. Yeah, I believe it was. I think the trouble was that was the advent of electronic toys in the 80s. And they promised much, but delivered little. And it wasn't that really exciting, was it? Big load of shite. Yeah, it seemed to be that way. They relaunched it, Big Track, a while back. Unless it was app powered, I can't imagine it being much fun for kids these days. I remember Big Track, but wanted Omnibot, but I'm glad I never got them, as I now know I would have been disappointed in how limited they are. Yeah. I remember a friend had Big Track. I went to his house and he said to me, punch in any numbers you like and see what it does. So I punched in something or other, and all it did was bleep about 80 times. It didn't move. It just bleeped. And he says, no, you have to do this. So he did something, and it went forward, it went back, and then it went forward again and stopped. I'm like, this is no fun at all. What about sending in a pic of your favorite Christmas gift? Yeah, send in pics. Yeah, maybe I can, if I accept pictures prior to the stream, I can bring them up if you're not a guest at the time or something. Or hang on. 8 adverts in the 80s were good at overhyping false, but yeah, absolutely. I have so many memories of disappointment in the 80s because the toy itself did not represent what I saw in the commercial. In particular, Big Track is a big one. even though I didn't get it, I could see firsthand that was not what they promised. And I'm quite sure that Tin Can Alley was not as much fun as the advert showed. So definitely we can do something along those lines. One toy that did exceed expectations was my Dukes of Hazzard Speedbusters set. That was definitely way better than the advert showed us. Ideal toys, motocross. Now Jaws, I believe we've discussed this, whereby you got the one that was a molded figure, and it was not the normal sort of bendy figure, and was somewhat of a disappointment. I still think that that is one of my best toys ever. Evel Knievel. And for the most part, it did what it was meant to do. But yeah. Did you see this Palatoy-inspired Star Wars playset called Death Star Detention Playset by Pali Toy? Interesting diorama in Star Wars. Now, are those the sort of vac molded bases with a cardboard backdrop? Yeah, they are. I think I've seen those, and if that is the same thing, those are pretty cool. I never had any of those as a kid, so I have no real interest in them, but I think I know what you're talking about, and they are kind of cool. Big Track was very limited. I wanted one as a kid simply so I could deliver an apple to various rooms in the house. The standard version was white, but I believe they made it a limited edition black one. The one I have that doesn't work, I think, is gray. So perhaps that's the same thing. Dukes of Hazzard Race and Chase. I don't know what that is. So right now I have a Speedbusters set, a Barnbusters set. I have the 2 wrist racers and the 2 finger racers, but I don't know about this Race and Chase. That sounds very interesting. So please do tell more. Was that by the same company, which I think was Knickerbocker? Yeah, definitely Speedbusters, absolutely one of my favorite toys, which I'm so happy to have again. We got hi from Canada. Did you have Big Jim? I don't know who. Now, Big Jim, was that similar to Action Man / G.I. Joe? I don't know. I would like to know more about Big Jim. If you don't mind adding further details, that would be very much appreciated. So Ed is saying that this was a Matchbox Race and Chase, Poor Man's Electrics. Okay, got you now. Yeah, okay. Okay, don't worry, Monkey Boy. You will see the wrist racers very soon, although that, again, as I said earlier, that will have to be a Patreon-only video because I don't want people chasing after me because they find a certain flag offensive. But when I go to Thailand, I will be showcasing all these toys in their glory, running about the place. So you may recall there were 2 wrist racers. There was a General Lee and Roscoe's squad car. General Lee was weighted in the back, did a wheelie, but Roscoe's was the best because that one would spin out when you launched it. Although, much like the video you would have seen, because you are indeed a member of Patreon, when I got those vintage Batman toys, the handcuffs that came with the Batman set will not fit around an adult's wrist. You could maybe fit your willy into those. So much like the wrist racers and the finger racers, they do not fit on adults' wrists or fingers, but we can get around that somehow. Just restored a Tin Can Alley, very well designed and it's great fun. Planning on gifting myself a Skeletrix this year. A wee figure of 8 Grand Prix style one. So it's not been filmed yet, I don't believe, but I did pick up a Scalextric car that is very special to me for reasons that will be revealed. And I had, as a kid, a figure 8 Scalextric set, but we did have the additional skid chicane and the crossover tracks, which made it a bit more interesting. But yeah, that's a very good point there. I don't think Big Jim was in the UK. Possibly not, because I don't recall that at all. Definitely want a Duke's Wrist Racer. Yeah, so I managed to get both of those. In actual fact, when I started All Things 80s in 2019, the first videos, or amongst the first videos I did, was unboxing those, which offends some people. And that was General Lee. And in the recent months, I've acquired Roscoe's squad car. So video coming soon. So video showcasing, no, actually, tell a lie. Video telling the story, Patreon only, but video showcasing the toys in action on YouTube next year sometime when I get the nice space to play with these. What was your experience with slot racing? Did you have any as a kid? Yes, Scalextrics. Scalextrics was the brand in the UK. Fantastic brand, fantastic product, and very much enjoyable. And to get this one particular car back in my possession is indeed very special, as will be revealed when the video comes out on YouTube. Don't get me wrong, as I love it, I looked at the part and did everything it was supposed to do. It was just different. And yes, I'm talking about evil. Yeah, I think you said this before. The one you got was not the one you were expecting to get, and that's very disappointing. Are there any Jenny Anderson fans in the room? Maybe a good subject. Yeah, actually, I just began watching Terrorhawks. Now, I watched the first episode, and a couple of things struck me. One was the Asian racism. Now, I don't use that term. In fact, you know what? I shouldn't even say racism, because that's racism in its purest form is terrible. This was mild racism, whereby I forget the character's name, but the Japanese bloke, and they made fun of his accent, and that was how it was back in the 80s. Did I find it funny? Somewhat. But I understand why people today would not find that funny. But the most telling part was the reminder of how scary Zelda was. As a kid watching that, I was terrified by her appearance. And the fact that it was shown on a Sunday afternoon was quite something, because she was terrifying to 9-year-old me. Big Jim was a Mattel line similar to G.I. Joe and $6 Million Man. Yeah, I don't think we got that in the UK. Big Jim, great 70s toy line. All these 80s toys were amazing. So much innovation and fun. By contrast, I was at the New York Toy Fair last week. New toys for 2024, all about licenses now, very unexciting. Yeah, obviously I was not there, even though it was on my doorstep. No, nothing about that is of any interest to me. Modern toys, 90% of which I have absolutely no interest in. I am all about, and here's the thing though, a lot of people say, and they use this term member berries, which I don't really understand, but it's all about memories for me. And I am proud to say that me and my channel are all about memories and nostalgia. And if people find that offensive, so be it. That's what keeps me going. So I will always focus on memories and nostalgia. What's your favorite toy line from a movie, not Star Wars? A movie. Well, I mean, that's That's a tough one, because bearing in mind that Star Wars, of course, was a movie, everything else I enjoyed really came from TV shows. Uh, oof. My Star Trek stuff is all from a TV show. Transformers, Mask is TV shows. Batman is a TV show, well, also a movie, kind of. From a movie. Let me get back to you on that, because that's a very good question, actually. There were penny racers too, worked if you stuck a 1p coin in the back of them, seemed like magic. I never had a penny racer, never. Yeah, me too. Well, obviously I saw Thunder. I did. Well, I watched the odd Thunderbirds, and was it Stingray? Because that theme, was it Stingray? Stingray, did it. Obviously, I watched those, but Terrahawks was my time. But that was terrifying as a kid. Terrahawks were brilliant. Those puppets were scary. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Zelda was frightening. Hang on. Zelda and the daughter having a kid was super scary. I don't remember the kid, but again, I'm going to watch them all again. But the first episode, again, not to make light of this, they definitely. I don't think that could be broadcast today, unfortunately, because they made fun of the Asian's accent. And Zelda, that was not suitable for children in any way, shape, or form. Yep, very scary. Thunderbirds are go. I found the others too creepy. Zelda never bothered me. Okay. I thought she was cool. I admit I am quite disturbed. Yeah, Monkey Boy, if you did not find Zelda scary, you are indeed a disturbed individual. I'm much the same as you on new stuff. However, I did pick up the Magnum PI Playmobil. Playmobil is interesting because Thailand still has Toys R Us in all the big malls. And in there, I went to the Playmobil section and I picked up the A-Team van and thought this would be nice. However, the conversion to dollars was about $140. And I said, there's no way I'm paying that for this. That is way too much. Put it back on the shelf, looked at Michael Knight's kit. Again, far too much. Scooby-Doo, it was way overpriced. And I guess that's the price of coming from, I think Playmobil is German, perhaps. Please do let me know. But coming from Europe into Thailand, and the import charges were given to the customer, I could not go ahead with purchasing that. But yes, they do look very nice. Jaws is saying 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thunderbirds are go. Was Captain Scarlet? Yes, that's the one. And Stingray. I've yet to be disappointed by Playmobil sets. Well, obviously, I don't own any. And from what I've seen, particularly in Monkey Boy's videos, the vehicles are second to none. Those are super detailed, super accurate. However, I find the figures a big letdown. Now, I understand they have kept the aesthetics of the childhood Playmobil figures we remember, and it makes complete sense. Much like Lego minifigures. But I cannot justify the cost to get figures that look like that, like something like, you know, a 2-year-old would play with. But the vehicles are absolutely fantastic. So for me, I will enjoy watching Monkey Boy share his experience. But yes, Playmobil is doing a grand job. My favorite non-Star Wars movie toy line was Clash of the Titans. Was that a thing in the UK? It wasn't something I was familiar with. Sounds more than double UK prices. Yeah, they were very expensive. Yes, they are German. Okay, thank you, Ed. I thought as much. Anyone seen Torchy the Battery Boy talking about scary-looking characters? I don't recall that one. For some reason, the regular Jerry Anderson puppets scared me more. Something about their shiny mouths. I still can't look at them to this day. Give me Zelda every time. Oh, Monkey Boy, you're a strange one. Yeah, top. Again, my experience is from watching Monkey Boy and Reynolds Reviews look at their Playmobiles. And the fact that they're doing Magnum PI suggests to me they are very much aiming at our age group. I understand that the idea is to keep in line with what was released back in the 70s, 80s with the figures. But those figures don't belong with those highly detailed vehicles, just my opinion. Seth says, yeah, you're back. Oh, thank you, Sean. That's kind of you. Playmobil is the best line I've collected in the past couple of years. Very, very good. Yeah, absolutely. I don't argue with that. Those also as well, in the UK and in America, the prices I think are quite fair. It's just that in Thailand, it's just not doable for me. Just watched Clash of the Titans today. Amazing cat. Now, was that like claymation or otherwise? Do let me know, please. I agree about the figures, but not a problem for me personally, as I've the vehicles on display only. So you don't use the figures with the vehicles. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. Yes, the shiny mouths of some of Jenny Anderson's characters were uncanny valley. I'm trying to remember these shiny mouths you speak of. Laurence Olivier as Zeus. So was this the claymation Clash of the Titans? However, I was let down when I opened my mystery machine to find no Scooby-Doo. Now, is this the case that with some of these vehicles, you have to buy additional sets to get the whole line of characters? If that's the case, that's not good. There were a lot of toys at the show for kidults. Okay, so we're all kidults. Harry Husson. Ray Harry Husson, stop motion. So stop motion. Hang on. So I suggested that Clash of the Titans was claymation, but you're saying it was stop motion. And Jerry Anderson was just straight up puppets. Is that correct? Yeah, lots of Ray H.H.'s work. I'm going to be honest and say, as a kid watching, I guess, BBC Two, the Jerry Anderson stuff was okay, but I think I preferred Scooby-Doo and the Pink Panther, to be honest. Tree is saying, great job, moderator. Oh, have I missed some scandal? I've not been following YouTube. I don't see any. Oh, no, I don't see any deleted stuff. Hopefully there were no scammers here. Oh, good Lord, 3 hours. Okay. I think I've taken up enough of your time. And thank you so much for stopping by. This has been an absolute honor to have so many people watch this, given that I've not been active publicly for quite some time. Again, I mentioned the reasons earlier. I'm not going to go over it again. Things are back to normal, and we will try to grow this channel as best I can. I realize that things I've said in the past may have upset some people, and I take full responsibility for that. I have made the apologies where appropriate. I didn't ask for forgiveness. I just said, let me get this off my chest. So as things stand, I have no issues with any other channels except those that have said things about me publicly. I do have the screenshots, so if necessary, those can be produced. But for the most part, I just want to have fun doing this. I'm a complex character, but I do have a strong fondness for my childhood, and it's that fondness that keeps me going day by day. So if I can share my joy and happiness from my childhood and my memories with people who can connect to those stories, that's what it's all about. So I will get to all the chats and then I will shut things off. But this was a rather nice experiment. It's been a good number of views and good conversation, great back and forth. And in the future, there will definitely be more squares up here with other characters sharing their stories. So it's not just me blabbling on for 3 hours, which I'm sure can be quite abrasive to some people. But let's get to the chats before we wrap things up. Johnny says, I prefer the Sinbad movies over Clash. Amateur skeletons, Inside Harry's stuff for the stop motion. Also, rear projection, practical backgrounds, Initer films. Yeah, I do remember some of those backgrounds. Did Brian May do something with Starfleet? Was that Jenny Anderson? I don't know. Brian May has been everywhere. Ray also did Jason and the Argonauts and Sinbad. Yeah, I do remember the Sinbad movies. Love you, No Home. Oh, thank you, William, sorry. That's very kind of you. Great show. Thank you so much. We enjoy your channel. Well, thank you, Jason. We enjoy yours as well. And again, subscribe to Jason's channel. Bearded Greek Toys Reviews. Great to have you back, Dean. It's been a great live stream to watch. See you soon. Good night, all. Thank you so much. Reading movies. This has been a great live chat stream. Look forward to your next one. Well, thank you too. Fandabidozi. Ah, there's a Crackerjack reference right there. The Crankies. Fantastic. Gerard says, thanks all. Great show, Dean. Great chat again. Thank you so much. Well, thank you, Gerard. Esva. Thanks for the live stream. Had a ball. Monkey Boy, thanks for moderating. Hope to see you all soon. Well, thank you. And yes, indeed, thank you to Monkey Boy, who's right here. Brilliant stream. Dean steers the ship. Well, thank you, Monkey Boy. Don't worry about the others, Dean. You're authentic, and that's the content we all like. Well, thank you. Dean, have you picked up any new Stan Solo figures? Yes, I have. In fact, next video tomorrow will showcase the latest from Stan Solo, and that video will include some Star Wars, the vintage collection. Thumbs up from Monkey Boys to Ed. I'm the last chat, right? Nope. Gerard got it. Okay, thank you all. Please, no more chats. I cannot bring any more. Oh, hang on, there's one more. Soda Cauldron got it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Oh, we got more. It's on YouTube. Oh, here we go. Beefcake gets the last one. Take care. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I'm humbled by the numbers who watched this. I did not expect this. Tree Theodore, you are an absolute gentleman, and I don't know what to say, but your generosity is very much appreciated. Very humbled by that. We're back. So starting tomorrow, you will get videos, say once every 3 days, a mixture of old, some new, building up to the Christmas party live streams. And in the interim, prior to Christmas, we'll do more live streams, and you will not have to see my ugly coupon. There will be more squares on the screen for you to look at. And so there we go. Thank you. And I will see you next time.